Yeah. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the 2014-2015 Masters of Endurance season here on SimRace.tv. It is the 1,000 kilometers of Suzuka. Jonathan Palmer and Michael Passingham with you. Towards the end of the gridding process, and Paso, we have got a fantastic track here. Quite narrow track with lots of cars, 60 cars. Suzuka circuit could be a recipe for disaster.
Could be, but hopefully won't. And judging by the hello everybody, by the way, judging from the performance in the last race with clean driving, even on lap one, um, I think obviously there's definitely potential for incidents, but really I think we're going to see a spectacular race with, yeah, as you say, 60 cars all fighting over this legendary tarmac. One of my favourite tracks actually. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how these guys handle it. And in fact, they are just about to start their warm-up lap and ready to line up for the rolling start. So once they've got moving, we'll take you through the grid. Before that, though, let's just remind you of the championship standings. There are two teams currently tied for first. Commander Simsport, who won last time out on 100 points, and Team Redline, who were second last time out, but have the benefit of 2 pole positions and the points that come with that. Also on 100 points. Third is Inex Racing Red, and fourth is Core Motorsports. They're on 85 and 80 respectively. And it should be it'll be interesting to see how these guys do, because I mean it's such early days. Really, it's still very much an open championship. Although you would say, considering the performance on track and in qualifying, the Commander Simsport and Redline guys surely wants to watch.
It is going to be an interesting race. Waiting for all 60 cars to join the grid. iRacing gives everyone a minute. There you see, got a couple cars left to join here. It will be sort of an abbreviated pace lap. They're starting just before 1:30R, and after the chicane, leader has to maintain, give or take 10 kph, around 65 kilometers an hour. And with 60 cars past, so the back half of the grid may not even be into the chicane by the time the green flag falls.
Yeah, that's going to make things interesting. You just got to hope for an even increase in acceleration, so people don't start piling into the back of each other. It should be all right. Now the pace car has started moving. Obviously, with the short pace lap, or not full pace lap, we won't be able to go through the entire grid, but we'll give you the first view. It's Team Redline on pole. Enzo Benitez, second pole position in a row. Iberica Racing Team is in second on that front row. Third, Team Chimera 2, with Ben Tusting at the wheel. And fourth is Commander Simsport, the joint championship leaders. And that was the lap there was set by Jon Jens. So as we head into the final chicane now, you can see on your screen, unfortunately, some of the cars on the stream, in fact, I think the pole position sitting car doesn't have a paint job, which is somewhat confusing, but I'll describe it to you as best as I can, nonetheless, as they get up to the start line.
Pace car is in. Enzo Benito controlling the pace. Green flag is out. The 1,000 kilometers of Suzuka is underway. It is a great start for Benito, and behind, everyone is going to spread out and try and get the best real estate they can. A very fast and tricky turn 1 entry. You got to brake on the corner. We are looking, there's a little bit of argy-bargy in the back, but everyone's so far cleanly through the first corner.
Yeah, it's looking really good actually. Everyone appears to have made it through the first few corners without incident, which is great to see. It was a great start from Benito for Team Redline. He did that last time as well in the previous race. Got a good lead, and it's Team Chimera in second. Ben Tusting at the wheel. Ben Tusting had a very fun race last time out. He was constantly overtaking cars at Road America, so I look forward to seeing how he does today. As we look further back, and all of them again, you can see them all streaming through. It's a line astern, which is probably quite sensible on the first lap, just to get your eye in, get your tyres warmed up, and sort of feel your car.
Yep. So the field heading into the hairpin now. bulk of the field is actually heading towards Spoon Curve. Benito in the lead for Team Redline. Second place is Ben Tusting of Team Chimera, number 54. Third place is Julian Rodriguez Moreno, Iberica Racing Team. Fourth is Jorn Jens for Coanda Simsport Round 1 winners. And fifth is Alexander Voss for Core Motorsports, car number 33, heading towards 130R for the first time at racing pace.
Now that is a tough corner, and a few have run wide, but so far the top 15 who have gone through it have got through without incident. But then they have to break through the chicane. They have to get back on line. If they've run wide, they have to get back in line and carry on their way. And that's the first lap about to be completed.
So 1 lap complete. First lap is in for Enzo Benito.
Yeah, he had a 0.9 second lead as he went over the line that first time round, which is a pretty good start, really. He was able to just have a clean bit of track and not have to worry about anyone behind him because he got the jump absolutely perfect as they went away. Now you can see him on screen at the moment.
That is not a problem with the camera control, that is a problem with iRacing. Something with it not loading skins over a certain number of cars. We had Marcus Johansson for Virgil Racing off at the back at the S's, the later half of it.
So looking back, in third position, the Iberica Racing Team with Julian Rodriguez Moreno is right up behind Ben Tusting's Team Chimera car as they head into the chicane for the second time. It's the closest battle up at the front at the moment as Enzo Benito really gets away now. He's 1.7 seconds now ahead of the Team Chimera 2 car. So you're just catching the battle there between Radicals Online 2 and Inex Racing Blue. They were side by side, and it looks like Paul Ilbrink for Radicals Online 2 has taken the position there, and that was for 16th.
Yeah, Inex Racing was blue, I think, last round or yellow. One of the Inex Racing cars had what's this car? The PJ Sturgios BMW. They're just trailing this roof. Couldn't race last round because iRacing gave them the wrong car when they tried to enter the session. They were signed up with the BMW, as they have here, but iRacing gave them the MP4.
Oh dear.
So good to see them finally on the tarmac.
Indeed, yes. It's never good when it's something completely out of your control that ruins your race and doesn't even let you start the race. It's not ideal at all. Back at the front, we've got a really close battle developing now between second and third, and it looks like Rodriguez Moreno is looking to pass at 130, possibly not. That's the Porsche there trying to pass Ben Tusting, the Team Chimera car. Possibly a little ambitious, as round the outside goes Jorn Jens, in the Coanda Simsport car, the joint championship leader, in fact. And then on the inside of that joint championship leader is the Core Motorsports car of Alexander Voss, the purple and white roof, and they go side by side into turn one. And Bjorn Jens on the outside, brakes a little bit later. On that bend, nearly runs into the back of Rodriguez Moreno. And they have managed just about to not crash into each other. That was a great little sequence there. Possibly slightly over-ambitious from Bjorn Jens, though, into 130R. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, that would have been very, very tricky going into 130R. Glad he kind of a little better of it just before the apex. You definitely don't want to ruin your race chances early. Had one fast tow in the 12-hour race, 0 fast tows in this race. So if you lose your car, you are pretty much so out of it. You don't get any quick repairs. If you screw your engine, you are out of it.
Yeah, it may seem harsh, but the clue is in the name of the series, Masters of Endurance. It's going to be pretty darn good to be up here, and so yes, mistakes will be punished.
Close battle between cars 7 and 44. New World Sim Sport C-Spec MP4 trailing the number 7 car of Patrick Pitchler, the Pure Racing Team number 1, as they head into the Casio Triangle.
Yeah, you can see that on the screen. That's the blue car is Pure Racing car, and the white car behind is the New World Sim Sport C-Spec of Antti Pilaha, sorry, and yeah, Pitchler ahead. And it looks like that Pilaha is going for an overtake into the first corner. I don't think he'll be quite close enough to manage that, although he stuck it up the inside anyway, and to his credit, Pichler has given him room, and that is a pass for 7th, as William Levesque from Inex Racing Yellow, BMW, also sticking his nose in. He looks like he might try it. That is really, really close to the second part of the S's, and Pichler sort of runs off line and is now being passed again by Rodriguez from the Hound Endurance team. So Pichler, who was possibly slightly generous into turn 1, has lost 2 or 3 positions as a result. That's how this track will treat you. If you give a bit too much room somewhere, you'll lose time through the following sequence of corners, because it's such a flowing circuit. You lose momentum, and you keep on losing it, and then people pass you and you lose even more. It can be quite frustrating. So yes, he was in 7th. He's probably down in 11th now at this point for that Pure Racing Team number 1 McLaren. So the Gotta Go Fast Motorsports car of Jack Sedgwick has really flown up the rankings. That's a 69 car. He, I believe, started a fair way down the grid in 47th and is now up to position 33. So that's 14 positions gained in only 5 laps. So not bad going there, Jack. Not bad at all. Still need to improve that livery though. Comic Sans on the rear of that car, not a pleasant sight. We have cars off. It's car 58 is up in the wall. That's Miguel Bento of AB Racing Red. There was a collision between him and another car. I'll have to go back and find out, but he is stuck in the wall. The car I think he made contact with was Oscar Mangan of Le Mans Rennsport 1, who's going into the pits. That car is I've lost the car, but yes, that was the 34 car. So we're looking at the replay there, and EVA just got turned into him. I'm not sure who the other mystery car was. Yeah, he got spun from behind and ended up stuck in that barrier, and that is extremely unfortunate. And I don't think he was really the innocent bystander there, going into an area where another car had an accident ahead of him. That's very unfortunate. It was Vortex number 20 who made contact, I'm being told. So that's quite a big incident.
Yeah, it was a big incident for something so early on in the race here. It's only lap 6, even though Enzo now is stretched out to a 5-second lead now. It's 5 seconds over Team Camaro and been testing.
So we didn't introduce him, but yes, the voice you just heard was Phil Diaz, admin extraordinaire and commentator as well when he fancies it. He's also operating the camera, so if there's any action, blame him.
Sorry about that.
No action whatsoever. But yeah, as you say, it's 5-second lead for Team Redline, the 26 car. It's a pretty good start to the race, but there is a long way to go yet. We are just seven laps in, so. But there's plenty of close battles going on throughout the field, and I think we are currently watching the 10 car of the Iberica Racing Team, and that car is currently in 3rd, catching Ben Tustin. This is the closest battle on the track at the front of the field. The white McLaren is Ben Tusting. The roof behind him is the 3rd position Iberica Racing car, and then behind them is Lormien's Kind of Sport number 18 machine. And as we head on to the back straight, it is looking like it's going to be a bit of drafting, but whether Rodrigo Moreno will actually try and pass is another matter as they go into 130 yards. There's a bit of dust kicked up ahead, but nothing to worry about for Enzo Benito, who I thought might have kicked up that dust, but he doesn't seem to have gone off anywhere. And it's still very close though into the chicane, as Ben Tusting is fending off the intentions of Rodriguez Moreno as they head on to lap number 8. Problem is, if you reach the back, if you get up close to someone at the wrong point, you're probably not going to find a place to pass them unless they make a mistake, because it's very much a one-line circuit for much of the lap. There are a few points where overtaking is possible, but you have to have got a very good run, or the person in front of you will have had to have made a mistake. So it is all about staying calm under pressure, and you can probably keep your position. Although whether that's worth doing is another matter, because if you hold someone up, you're holding yourself up as well, and you will lose time overall. So it's a tough balance to play. But for now, Ben Tusting in that McLaren is keeping the Iberica Racing Team behind him. Although as they come into the hairpin, Rodriguez Moreno goes round the outside, tucks in ahead of him, and in fact it looks like Ben Tusting is pulling off to the inside, just letting a few guys pass. So as I was just saying, he obviously doesn't want to hold everyone up and hold himself up, and he's now in 6th, 7th, I think 7th position now.
Yeah, I don't think he got a slowdown there. He might have, otherwise maybe he felt like he was causing a train. I don't know. It was interesting to see him let everyone by like that.
Yeah, as he was going into the hairpin, he was already over to the left, and as soon as Rodriguez Moreno had got past him, he just braked to the inside and just let everyone through. Odd one. We'll have to see what happened there. So you're currently looking at, take a look at number 99 now, who's Jake Sturgios in the NX Racing red car. He's now at the back of this train. He's in 5th position.
Yeah, we're on the 33. Sorry, I know 99, 33, they're right next to each other. It's a tough battle here for the 2nd position.
All this battling behind, though, has given Enzo Benito a huge lead, 6.9 seconds. I think he's managing the gap now because it was 7 seconds a couple of laps ago and he's not extended it. And knowing his pace, he probably could if he wanted, but this early on, probably not worth pushing super hard. Maybe quite a few stints to go. He's got to hand over a nice, pristine car to his teammates. Meanwhile, Alexander Voss, who you are looking at, the core motorsports car. That car would be purple. That's 4th position. Just not quite close enough to the Climber Sim Sports number 18 car of Jorn Jens. But what that has done, those two being close to those, let Julian Rodriguez Moreno get away from them both. And he's gone into Spoon sort of alone, which is nice for him, although he's gone a little bit wide, but he has made a little bit of time on them, so he's able to drive his own rhythm without having to worry about these two all going all over his back.
So as everyone is settling in through the race so far, don't forget, we have a couple of ways you can get into contact with us during the race. Find us on Twitter at Masters of Endu. Use the hashtag IRMOE. Also IRC, the Game Search Network channel MOE, and also Facebook Masters of Endurance. We'll be checking those throughout the race. If you have any questions, feel free to pop them into us. We'll try to answer them as soon as we can. Through the midfield, I have a couple cars closing in on each other. George Lee Wright for car 57, LIT Motorsports 2, Marcel Mose for Trinity, coming out of the Casio Triangle in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, that's a bit of a bunched up load of cars there. That's looking very good as they head into the first corner.
Kind of a truly-esque train.
Yeah, look, George Lee White at the head of it, P37 in that LIT Motorsports number 2. And yeah, Marcel Mose, the Trinity Motorsports 3 behind him in the blue BMW. And behind them, the distinctive...
The Mad Cow Racing.
Moo!
Someone's off just up ahead.
That's Corey Oswald, the 115 Direct Clutch Motorsports car. Not really sure what happened to him. He's now pitted.
Maybe he's gone for a tow.
So we'll have a look at, if we're able to, have a look at the replay, if it becomes available. Because he was off track, didn't look like there was any damage to his car, so maybe he had a technical issue with his, possibly his controller, or... Oh goodness me, that is a bit of a rough moment there for those guys. So that was, I think, Anton Stratiev there with Infinity Esports, and the Macau guy, Craig Hunter was involved there as well. It was all over the place.
Yeah, Stratiev spun going into the hairpin, danced through the grass and came out right in front of, who was that? That was Johan Sorzinski, and then I don't know if there was damage or what, kind of had him off.
We look now, you can see at the back, car 39, Marcus Johansson, passing the Marlboro Motorsport car of Mika Luki. I'm assuming Marlboro aren't the official sponsors. Looks like, yeah, here in P6, Ben Tusting again losing more time, and now William Levesque of Index Racing Yellow, as they go into 130R, is really challenging him, and Tusting takes a defensive line going in, runs wide going out, now he's on the inside into the Casio triangle, but Levesque runs too deep into the corner, is unable to take advantage. Ben Tusting mysteriously slower than what he was doing earlier in the race, just falling back into the clutches of Levesque at this point. Tusting was really on the pace last time out and was performing some pretty impressive overtaking moves. So maybe he's just sort of, well, it's early days, so maybe he's just not pushing it all the way just yet.
Yeah, he finished, I believe it was 6th last round. He's running 6th now, so it's, you know, pretty much where he wants to be, I believe. Only people that are different in front of him from last race is the number 10 car. The number 10 car of Iberica Racing, who is still being pressured for the 2nd position. They, I believe, finished around 12th or 13th last race.
Yeah, I suppose maybe the qualifying position that, or the grid position that Tusting found himself in doesn't represent his race pace as much as it does the team's qualifying pace, so that probably explains it. So yeah, in 6th is no mean feat at all, and it's but he is under pressure now for 7th from Index Racing Yellow.
Yeah, I thought it was a great lap he put down. I believe he started in the 4th position, maybe actually the 3rd position. Absolutely great lap time by him to get that.
Index Racing Yellow, 36th in the points with 24.
Yeah, they weren't locked into the top 30 for this round, so they've had to qualify their way in. For people unaware, after the first round, the top 30 in points are basically locked into the race. As long as they set a qualifying time within 103%, they still want to qualify as fast as possible to get the grid order they want, or the grid position they want. But the top 30 are locked in just so there's no random championship implications from a bad qualifying time or something like that.
Yeah, and the people who aren't in the top 30 are left fighting for scraps at that point. So if you had a bad first race, you put yourself on the back foot if you're unable to do a decent qualifying from that. But these guys are they do so much practice. You'd have to be. It's just ridiculously competitive, and it's good to watch. But if you're just slightly off the pace, you could find yourself not even making it into the race.
Yeah, it's crazy, and there's really fast guys who are down the order from where we would normally see them in any given race, and it's simply because the competition is really strong here, and we have guys who Dylan Sharman, PJ Sturgis, who are in P13 and 14 right now, which over time they'll move up through the field, just with their experience, and they're gonna be consistent throughout the race. But it's strange to see them, I guess you can say, so far down the order. It's just weird. We also have Jorn Jens here putting pressure on Julian Rodriguez Moreno for Iberica Racing.
Yep. Jorn Jens as they hit through the smooth curve, him come onto the back straightaway, run down towards 130R. Jorn Jens for the round 1 winners, championship leaders right now in a train of 4 cars for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
And Jens is all over the back of him now, and in fact Rodriguez Moreno has pulled off to the inside to defend going in, but that'll give Jorn a good chance at the outside, and it is possible to pass around the outside, as Alexander Voss is also looking with interest in the roof in 4th position, and around the outside tries to go Jorn Jens, but doesn't quite have the pace to do it, as Rodriguez Moreno makes a slight mistake and runs wide through the 2nd element of the S's. And as they head out now, I think he's just about got away with it, but he won't want to repeat that because, well, I think Jon Jens will have noted that and will be trying again next lap.
Yeah, I think he's just going to have to keep trying here. The BMW is a car, we're close to halfway through a stint right now, so the BMW is a car that is going to be much better from this point on in a stint. The roof and the McLaren both are going to fall off around now, so we'll see, you know, well, actually we can already see that Iberica Racing starting to fall back into the clutches of Coanda SimSport here.
Got to make hay while the sun is shining, and when your car is performing at its best compared to the others around you, yeah, you've got to make the most of it. And Rodriguez Moreno in that with it always looks slightly unstable, but that might be his style. But going through the spoon there, it was a little bit on edge. But he is just a little way ahead of Jens now, so he might avoid the slipstream this time around as they head into 130R.
He's really going to have to get on the brakes hard here and then get a good run out of the chicane.
Don't forget about Alexander Voss. He is there. It's just been watching and waiting, I think.
Yeah, I think Jon Jens isn't too worried about him sticking the nose in there if he makes a move. But he does have to watch out because Alexander Voss and Core Motorsports, they went to position just as bad.
Jake Sturgis in P5, just behind this. That should be 6, isn't it? Just kind of watching these three, trying to avoid any trouble they might get themselves into.
So after just over half an hour, the order is, for the top 10 anyway, Team Redline, followed by Iberica Racing Team. That's an 8.8 second gap. It's Coanda SimSport and Core Motorsports next. 4th, Inex Racing Red 5th, 6th is Team Camaro 2, 7th Inex Racing Yellow, 8th Ham Endurance Team, 9th Pure Racing Team 1, and 10th Radicals Online Team 1. And they are all separated by just under 20 seconds. That's the top 10 separated by 20 seconds.
Yeah, there looks to be little trains popping up here and there. Suzuka is a very hard track to pass on. I think we can see that right now. And we're actually going to go back to the 10th, 11th position. Big gaggle of cars going into spoon right now.
Indeed, yes, you can see on your screen Ramiro in the G-Tross SST Silver car, followed by Jeremy Bouteloup with the Radicals Online car, and then Patrick Pickler in the Pure Racing car as well. And the Team TTL Dylan Sharman car as well. Yeah, it's just a never-ending train. I'm looking back and there's more and more of them. And yeah, I think right at the back of that is Antti Pialaha, excuse me. That's one name I will never get right in the New World SimSport C-Spec McLaren as they all head into and out of 130R.
It makes you feel better. I will always pronounce them worse.
Yes, and that is something I take. Well, it fills me with joy.
Just had a stop-go penalty issued and served for car number 3, All-Star Racing Team number 1, for causing an avoidable incident going into Degner 1 on lap 1 with car number 66, which is the Team Huizenfeld Engineering car. So that has been served our first penalty of the race so far. So again, we thank you all for joining us here. 1,000 kilometers of Suzuka. About 16, 17 laps gone out of 173. We expect this race to take about 5 hours, 45 minutes or so. Watching the battle for the back part of the top 10, top part of the next 5.
Yeah, I've been watching it. It looks like Pure Racing Team 1. I don't know if they're dropping back a little bit I know they lost position to Jamie Boudaloop, and we saw them earlier. And they were nice, letting a car by in turn 1, and they got trained because of that. So I didn't know if they were just dropping back or what here. I've noticed that Ben Tusting had dropped away from Jake Sturgis and the rest of the cars in front of them. The can't really the position, or yeah, the P2 battle, I guess you could say, the 4 cars. But however, since then he's actually almost been catching them a little bit at a time. Not, you know, the biggest amount, but he was down to about 3.5 seconds, and now he's back up around 3 seconds even. So I think over time, I don't know if the roofs are dropping off more maybe, but Ben Tusting is starting to get in a little groove here, and William Levesque is, well, right on his bumper.
Yeah, he's definitely on his way back. Yeah, his lap times are pretty competitive. And yeah, you were talking about Pichler in that Pure Racing Team 1 car. His lap times compared to those around him, just a little bit slower. Which is yeah, maybe just settling in and not pushing too hard. Maybe waiting for later on in a later stint to really make a push. But they're now a fair way off the lead. That's Pure Racing Team. They're 23 seconds off the lead now.
Yeah, it dropped back, but looking back at round one, I should say, they were very consistent. Car was absolutely spotless after the race, and I believe they finished in the 5th position because Core Motorsports passed them with 8 laps to go to take the 4th position.
You can see now we're still looking at this P6 battle between Ben Tusting and William Levesque, and the NX Racing car, that BMW, having a little look as they head out onto the back straight. There wasn't really an opportunity to pass there, but I think he might be lining him up for a go at 130R, which might be a bit of a risk. Maybe he'll hold off till the chicane. Let's have a look. That BMW now pulls out to the right-hand side, lifts off a little bit so as not to actually pass him round the outside, because that's pretty difficult to do. But that still forces Ben Tusting to go defensive into the corner, running a little bit wide on the way out, but he remains ahead into the Casio Triangle.
Yeah, Levesque's a pretty experienced racer. He knows not to, you know, stick his nose and this, you know, on the outside like that so early on in the race, but he definitely wants to get around Ben Tusting right now. As you can see, it was 3 seconds last lap. Now it's 3.5 seconds, the gap to Jake Sturgis ahead of them. So they've dropped off the train just a little bit here.
Yeah, they lost a lot of time just with that sequence of corners towards the end of the lap. They lost a lot of time because they were both offline and not driving the ideal racing line.
I think it's also one of the situations where you have a car directly behind you, and because of that, I don't know, because of that it seems like, you know, you are, how can I say it, kind of put off by it. You have a car just right behind you and you're not really worried about your lap time, you're just more worried about the car not passing you. You kind of lose time because of that. I don't know if that's this situation necessarily, but it seems like every time Levesque starts to make a move, their lap times, you know, obviously drop.
He's going to give it a go into the hairpin. He might well do around the outside. Is Tusting going to let him through like before? No. But he's going around the outside anyway. He sort of breaks mid-corner, and Ben Tusting doesn't force the issue, and he's now down into 7th position as William Levesque is up in 6th.
Had a car off at 130R. That was the number 60 Trinity Motorsports car of Derek Reinhardt. Got it on the grass going into 130R, ran just wide on the curb. Got a twitch on and hit the wall on the left-hand side after the exit of 130R. Nerfs the left front. Not much apparent physical damage.
Pretty big impact though, looking back. But yeah, he got away with it somehow, I'm not entirely sure. You know, that battle for 6th has more or less been settled as Ben Tusting settles for 7th.
Yeah, I think we'll see Levesque now possibly catch the cars in front of him, and maybe Tusting can just latch onto him and follow up there. Also have another, well, it's actually teammates, so I don't want to say it's a battle, but we have, well, the number 35 and the number 24. If we look at this, it looks like, yes, Jonas Nukarainen, his rear wing is actually damaged.
Yeah, those two radicals in line car. The car ahead is the roof of Portly Brook. The radicals in line 2 car, and yes, the car behind with the bent rear wing is Jonas Nukarainen in the radicals line number 3 car. And yes, they are close to one another, but seemingly having their own battle.
They've been in this order for the past few laps, I've noticed. And I mean, obviously, there's no team orders right now because if Nukarainen is faster, I'm sure Paul would let him by. But it's interesting. Like I was saying before, it's this part of the stint where the BMW really shines. So you would think maybe it'd be a good idea to let him by and then just try to latch on to him, but who knows?
Had a drive-through penalty issued to car 97, that is KRT Motorsports, for avoidable contact with car 49 on lap 5 into the smooth corner. Just issued, they have 3 laps to serve penalty.
Now I noticed there have been, the first penalty issued was a stop-go, whereas the second penalty was just a drive-through, so there are obviously different severities of punishment here. How do you make that call?
It depends on how, it depends on just kind of the standard factors, pretty much, just kind of
severity of it, really.
Yeah, the severity, the impact, the situation of the cars. First one was going into Degner, which both of them were, I saw both of them, they were both kind of dive impacts. Stewards get to just kind of judge based on the merits of the incident and also containing on the, also trying to keep a standard. That's one thing stewards of all racing series have to do, is try to keep a standard so people know what to expect when they commit fouls.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, consistent stewarding is yes, definitely something that you always want. Otherwise, the drivers get a little bit antsy. You're currently watching the battle up at the front between the Iberica car, Commander car, Core Motorsports car, and the Inex car as they head into the Spoon corner. Someone's gone off, actually, up ahead.
Yeah, I saw that smoke on the camera before. You could see the skid marks as the cars went by.
Yeah, it was. It looks like it was Le Mans Rennsport #1 car of Oscar Mangan, who he actually got his rear right wheel onto the grass going into the corner, half spun, and kept going. He was just in front of the leader when he did that.
I think we'll be seeing that quite often. That corner, it's a very strange corner. You're coming up over a crest a little bit, and I don't know, maybe it's just me. I tend to sometimes brake and not paying attention, and I feel like I'm getting the right rear just on the grass, and that really just kills the car.
Yeah, luckily a lot of runoff there. It's tarmac followed by gravel, so if you can get it slowed down enough, you should be alright. As you watch these cars heading into turn 1, Rodriguez Moreno remains second, as he has been for much of the race, and Jorn Jens looking but not passing. We're 43 minutes into the race, 21 laps of 173.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if there's, I don't want to say pit strategy, but I believe, I don't want to be quoted on this whatsoever, but a stint is about 30 laps, and looking at around 159 a lap or so, average, maybe a little bit higher actually now. That's almost close to 2 minutes a lap, so it's almost an hour long stint. However, if the race is about 5 hours 45 minutes, maybe, just maybe, we might see a car in this group or in other groups pit like a lap or two early, get those fresh tires and try to do a lap, just basically undercut the car ahead.
Yeah, we're interested to see who, if anyone, tries that, or if everyone sort of follows the leader, as it were, and doesn't take a risk. Yeah, it'll be interesting. Jorn Jens once again in slipstream as they head towards Spoon in that BMW, the Commander car. Julian Rodriguez Moreno always runs a little bit wide through Spoon, but seems to always get away with it, so I think it's just his way of doing things. And Jorn Jens once again in the slipstream. heading into 130R, but as we've seen, he will probably just give it a little lift so as not to actually rear end him at the fastest part of the track.
This is actually a great battle that I've been wanting to see for a while, because people know Julian Moreno. He drives the GT cars a lot, especially that roof, and he's a very, very quick driver. We've seen it before in like the official GT3 Challenge series. So seeing him in MOE now and racing against Jorn Jens and everyone else, which Jorn Jens also drives in the GT3 series, but it's good to see him, competing at, I guess, I don't know if you could say a higher level. All the teams and everything that are in here currently. He's doing a great job in second position currently.
Yeah, that's the thing about iRacing. You can have rivals and follow them through all the various series and try and beat them everywhere.
Let's give you all an update on the solitary Ford GT in the field. Glacier Racing managing to get that woefully underpowered car compared to the others, I guess we could say, into the field now. 2 races in a row. They're locked in, obviously, by finishing top 30. They are engaged in a battle with the rough of Ricardo Costa for AB Racing Black. Yari Latari to the inside into turn 1 has completed the move. Someone else also behind, sneaking through to George Lee Wright for LIT in the BMW. So 3 cars battling here for, this is the 28th, 29th, and 30th position.
Yeah, as we cut to that Ford GT, it was actually getting rear-ended by, I think it was
George Lee Wright. Yeah, he got.
George Lee
It looked like it was just a very, very light bump. So probably a small 0x. Thankfully, it wasn't anything bigger than that.
Ford GT just being released, what was it, about a week or 2 before the first round of the series.
Yeah. Hopefully, there's actually a new build coming out next week, I believe. Hopefully.
Yeah, this is week 6 currently,
yeah.
The abbreviated season.
Yeah, so hopefully there's an update to the Ford, so Glacier Racing can actually be, well, more competitive they already are, and they finished 9th in round 1 with a car that should never have finished 9th, so hopefully they can go up there and battle for the top spots.
And up run to 130R, Daniel Lopez for GTRS SST Orange to the inside in 130R of Pure Racing Team number 2 Lars Conrad, side by side through 130R into the Casio Triangle. BMW, as we jokingly say, against McLaren MP4. The McLaren up ahead, the purple and black car, and the orange and black BMW just behind. Orange and black, that's kind of like the NFL team what's that one NFL team filled the Cincinnati Bengals?
Oh, you mean your home team that you're trying to brag on right now?
No, not at all.
We're not going to talk about that team.
You're just mad because they beat your Tampa Bay Buccaneers last week.
Of course. Well, Tampa Bay Buccaneers is awful. And by the way, we haven't technically missed this. Well, possibly have actually. The 41 car did enter the pits. I'm not sure why they've entered so early.
Oh, and maybe we've got Vortex Sim Racing number 114 off at. What is that? That's is that 130R or is that the? Oh, that's the chicane.
Yeah. Oh, it looked like it was actually in the S's somewhere. He was off. I didn't get to see it fast enough.
Yeah, that is the S's. That's the later half of the S's headed toward the Dunlop curve. Looks like he lost it on load at or when the car went light coming over one of the crests and backed into the tire barriers.
Okay, there's some strategy going on that even I don't know about. NX Racing Red's into the pits right now. It's only lap 24. However, they're pitting. I don't know if they're trying to short pit like I was speaking about before. Maybe they're trying to jump
Yeah,
the
that's what
3 cars ahead of them. The only thing about this that's risky is you don't want to try to jump cars and then you end up coming out of the pits in traffic, especially traffic that's much, much slower than you. Because currently he's dropping down to 25th position currently after pitting from the 5th position. So, also notice, and he's off now, so he's going to be still around in the top 30, but it looks like, oh, there's a train of cars coming. It looks like he's just going to beat them, actually.
Yep, rearranged onto the track, Jake Sturgis into turn 1. And yeah, he's, I mean, timed it to perfection, maybe. I mean, I think it's more, it's hard to predict.
Yeah, it's very hard to predict. So many cars on track, you have to try to guess where the gap is. I highly doubt that they've really calculated to this degree, but hopefully they've got it close to what they wanted. There's actually a little battle behind them. We also have to mention the number 27 car, the beautiful looking car that we talked about last race. Once again back.
Yes, that's the rear end of that roof. It's full of neon cats. Just about 20 of them. And the roof as well, in fact. And we've got a car up ahead.
Yeah.
That is the number 45 car, NWSS Scarlet, Jonathan Boutel.
The 45 car actually had, unfortunately, dare I say, an iRacing bug in the pits. When they entered their pit stall, they went to pit the car, and then when they went to take off, it never moved. The car wasn't able to take off, so they've actually had to leave the server, every single driver, and then when they got back into the server, they were able to drive the car off again. So that bug's going to need to be sent off to iRacing.
Yes.
Figure out what's going on there.
Not good.
Also want to note that the 2 Radical cars that we were speaking about before, it looks like Nukarainen has made his way past Paul Ilbrink. Very recently, actually, possibly the last lap. As we can see, Nukarainen had about 7/10 faster of a lap than Ilbrink.
Meanwhile, the Inix Racing red car, the 99 of Jake Sturgis, battling with Ricardo Costa of AB Racing Black. They're down in position 29. The battle there is between, yes, the red team who have, the NX Racing red team who've made a pit stop, and the AB Racing Black team who hasn't. So you'd expect Sturgis to start running away with it. In fact, he has. He has now.
Yeah, he's already passed those 2 cars that were ahead of him. He's already catching the cars in front of him now. I don't know if this is a great strategy or not. I really don't. I'm not a huge fan of it. If they get caught in traffic, that is. If not, great. Currently, they're catching the Pure Racing Team. I believe that's Pure Racing Team 2. And also the LIT Motorsports car. Correct. And we'll see the fresh tires. Fresh tires are worth at least a second a lap. So we'll see Jake catch them within probably by the end of this lap. And it matters how, hopefully, these cars know that Jake's on fresh tires, or know that has a teammate to tell them that Jake's on fresh tires, and simply kind of let him by, so no one loses time out of it.
So we'll have a 1-lap penalty coming up for car number 46 here shortly, the Infinity Esports car, for unsafe recovery from an incident there on lap 10. That incident we saw the tail end of on screen.
The part of the hairpin, I believe?
Yep. Also hearing reports from the pit lane stewards that car number 3, when they served their first stop-go, they did pit work during it.
Oh, yes, that's no rules, that's a no-no.
And they did pit work again, so that's when they went up in the air.
Yeah, we can see when you guys, do tires, the car actually moves. So It's easy to catch that.
We've just watched on screen there Jake Sturgis battling with George Lee Wright of Lit LIT Motorsports 2. And Sturgis is now in 26th position, having passed Lee Wright into the first corner.
Sorry to cut you off. I don't know if this was a great move by them. Well, actually, we can't see. Sorry, it's my fault. Let's do our first onboard of the day. And go on board with Jake here. We can see that their last lap was a 59.4, and well, actually, that's faster than Enzo Benito, the leader. That's faster than the cars, but for second, third, and fourth. But did they lose time, laps beforehand in comparison to where they're not going to overtake in the future? It's also odd to think, are they short pitting every time in order to do one extra pit stop, but have the overall fastest pace on track? We saw Team Redline do this last race, and they got bit by Coenda Simsport, who did the least amount of pit stops in comparison.
Yeah, I guess it's touch and go, because in the end it was only 9 seconds in it last time around. And it's interesting, well, I mean, because this is all kind of new stuff, these really long endurance races, so working out the strategy is still a bit of hocus pocus going on there. And so, yeah, It's interesting for us.
We also saw Daniel Lopez in the number 112 just basically let Jake Sturgis by there. That was rather big, because Jake just gained 1 second on the cars ahead of him that last lap. So, and when I say cars ahead of him, I mean positions 2, 3, 4, etc. They were ahead when he pit from the 5th position. So, kind of curious to see, maybe they can go 30 or 31 laps. Something we don't know. I'm not quite sure.
Oh, we've had an incident at looks like the S's. Michael Rasmussen for Grip TV has just gone off. Someone else went off with him. That's car 61. A little bit of contact with... Ooh, that was just minor contact in the S's with Carl Modig of KRT Motorsport 96. And that also affected Jan Ortiz Tanman of All-Star Racing Team, who just ran off in avoidance, didn't hit anything.
Yeah, looking at the number 61 car here, there's slight damage to the front of the car, maybe a little bit to the side, otherwise not too bad. The car directly behind them, Falcon GP car, they are they're not too damaged, but that's actually not for position, the car directly behind them. So I'm guessing that they've pit already, and they have. We also have Ben Tusting currently in the pits. Not sure if short pitting or simply just, this is his time to pit.
It's 58 minutes, 27 laps.
This is good actually. 58 minutes is just about right. We'll see where he comes out. Jake Sturgis is well ahead of him currently. Jake Sturgis currently in the 24th position for NX Racing Red, who pit about 3 or 4 laps ago. Ben Tusting coming out in the 33rd position. Also want to note that it looks like Jorn Jens has dropped off just a bit from Julian Rodriguez Moreno for Iberica Racing Team. Core Motorsports, though, right on the back of Jorn Jens. The lap car in between that McLaren, you guys can see, is a little damaged.
Yeah, it's a KRT Motorsport car with Thomas Halonen. Yeah, the gap between P2 and P3 is that. Well, it was the second of the line. I think it's a little bit more than that now.
Currently looking at about 1.2 seconds. Now, see, the problem here is I believe KRT possibly just came out of pits, and because of that, they feel as if, you know, they're faster than what they really are. So I don't know if that makes any sense. So they come out of the pits and they have fresh tires, and they believe that, hey, we're faster than the leaders currently, so they try to stick in front of them with their fresh tires.
You've got to take advantage of those fresh. You don't want to waste them on letting people
exactly.
pass.
And it's nothing really wrong with that if you can pull away, but you know, if you're getting into the lead battle, it's probably more respectful that, you know, you make way for them, and that's exactly what KRT did. Also, just want to note that we have not forgotten about the leader, Enzo Benito.
Yeah, we've barely seen him this race. He's run away with it so far. It's been a classic Enzo Benito race, really. And is he coming through?
He's pitting, yep.
Good timing. 1 hour on the dot.
10-second gap, yeah. Had over a 10-second gap here as he ended the pits. Pretty sure he should be okay. Now, I bet you they had a little team meeting before the race, and they made sure that they're going to drive, you know, as far as they can on each tank. As we see nobody else from the top 4 or 5 pitting. So that's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it would be a lower risk strategy to follow the leader in and just continue to be on the same pace as him, because as soon as he comes out, he will be faster immediately.
Exactly.
Extend his lead. But on the other hand, maybe they didn't know he was pitting, because obviously it's kind of difficult to keep track of that if you only got one spotter in the server or whatever, or no spotters in the server. So yeah, that hands the lead to Iberica.
I just want to note also they've actually done a driver change. So Christian Simchuk is currently in the car. Pit stop should be over relatively soon. Surprised they haven't gone yet.
Wonder, are there any damage repair or something?
No, they shouldn't have any damage. Okay, so they've taken off now. I was trying to see where Jake Sturgis is, and Jake Sturgis is actually in the lead now. Or sorry, the provisional lead by pitting early like that. So I'm starting to wonder if NX Racing Red are doing an extra pit stop. I'm surprised they would do that with that car, because that's the car that they finished 3rd with at Road America, to try, I don't want to say a daring strategy, but who knows, maybe it's better. So we have Julian Rodriguez Moreno for Iberica Racing Team. I'm sure they're happy right now, seeing the car in the lead currently. I was completely wrong, by the way, on the 30-lap stints. I mean, they can go 30 laps, yes, but it looks like they can go even further. So, not sure if that's either saving fuel or what, but doing quite a good job here. As we saw the number 58 AB Racing car slide out of the way for the leaders. Also want to note that the 33 car has dropped back a little bit from Jorn Jens. I'm going to say that there was probably a mistake made and they lost some position, or lost some track time because of that. Another car that I believe, yes, has already pit is Dylan Sharman for Team TTL. they were for sure in the top 15 before pit stops.
It's quite a long, quite a long pit stop window so far. So it's kind of just waiting for the order to shake itself out and everyone to have made one pit stop.
Yeah,
Currently it's all in flux.
I'm starting to think I might understand what NX Racing Red is doing now, especially since you can go 31 laps, or 32 maybe, I think. Oh, sorry, 31 laps, Julian Moreno currently. And as I say that, it looks like the 18 of Coanda Simsport and also the 33 of Core Motorsports, and yeah, both of them, oh, and NX Racing Yellow, they're all currently in the pits. So yeah. 31 laps looks to be the limit.
So very busy down there.
Yes, very. We can see pit lane currently very busy in the pits. Crazy pit lane. So I'm curious now if they can go 31 laps, maybe NX Racing Red pit early to where they can just do 31 from here on out, because these teams might do 31 and then for their final stint do 24. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
We also on screen have a little battle between NX Racing Blue of PJ Sturgis and the number 96 of KRT Motorsport 1.
Yeah, that's position for P25 and P26.
Yes,
Sturgis going round the outside, my goodness me, late on the brakes, and he makes it into the Casio Triangle, gets ahead, and Carl Modig from KRT
should be pitting this time, yeah. One of those things where fresh tires, we saw it right there under braking, possibly also KRT doesn't want to be in a battle, you know, as they try to get into the pit lane as well, so could be another one as well. Yeah. Also want to note, the leaders currently, Iberica Racing Team, expecting them to pit now. Julian, I don't know what he does for fuel. Yep, pitting currently. One extra lap than the rest of the field. That could be big later on, especially if they can continuously do that. And then their final pit stop, they can take less fuel because they have to do less laps. Currently we have Jake Sturgis and well, it says second position currently on your screen. However, he's going to most likely be in the first position once they pass Iberica Racing Team, who are currently sitting in the pits. Jake Sturgis has taken the lead. Also want to note that Iberica Racing Team coming out of the pits are about 3.5 seconds ahead, 3 3/4 even, ahead of Coanda Simsport. So I don't know how they necessarily gain time by pitting a lap later. Maybe just simply traffic for Coanda. Pretty interesting though, strategy going on between all teams here. Also have a battle for the 6th position. Once again, Team Chimera, they pit, well, Team Chimera 2, sorry. They pit a few laps earlier and they've gotten back around NX Racing Yellow.
Sturgis has a group of 3 cars all battling for 36th and 37th that he has to negotiate. 2 BMWs and MP4.
Believe I have the battle you speak of. Yes.
Yep.
You can see Jake Sturgis in the background, NX Racing red car. Oh, and the number 27 as well of
Velocity.
Yep.
Endurance team. So now 4 cars up ahead for Sturgis to contend with. Smichik for Redline just getting through gaggle about 3 or 4 cars headed through 130R and Casio Triangle.
I also want to note with them that a little time was gained. Moreno actually caught Team Redline by just a tad bit. I don't know, maybe it was the driver change or what. Not quite sure. However, it's down to 8 seconds. If you guys, viewers, remember, just before pit stops, it was about 10.5, 10.7, the gap between the top 2 cars, which is now actually second and third because of NX Racing Red taking over the lead, short pitting.
So don't forget, we'd like to thank our sponsors for this race. First one we'll do this time, IGP Manager. IGPManager.com. Jack Bassford, former My3ID member, the brainchild of that project. IGP is offering a special today only. Anyone who goes to IGPManager.com/special can get a free month's use of the 2D pack, which, Phil, you know the benefits of it, so we can explain in a minute. He's just in the last week, he's done some back-end improvements to try and stabilize the service, allow it to be scalable to even more users. You have to answer a trivia question to get the free month of the 2D pack. You have to guess the year that My3ID Gaming won both GT1 and GT2 classes in MOE back in the Live for Speed days. There's a big link between those two because, you know, that team had, you'll know this name, Phil. A lot of people know this.
Yeah, I don't want to talk much about it. Whoa, I don't want to talk much about it.
No. The guy won the 2011 iRacing World Championship F1 series or whatever. Grand Prix
Hugo
series.
Lewis.
Hugo Lewis, yeah. So, as someone has just gone off at the exit of Degner, that is Harry Drunen. So the question is, what year did My3ID Gaming win the MOE GT1 and GT2 class? It's either the season or a race. We're not going to give away which specifically it is. So what year did they win both classes, GT1 and GT2, back in LFS days? And Jack will tell you that he had a big want to start IGP because he actually, back in the days when LFS had the V1 championship, he had actually won that and was supposed to get a ride. When ITV lost the rights to F1, BBC dumped the F1 for the V1 championship. So that's what made him create IGP Manager, because he figured it was a way to give people easy access to F1. And, so he wants to try and get a little more people. He wants to make it known that he did improve the service.
That's a pretty cool offer by him. If for anybody who doesn't know what 2D is in IGP, essentially you're an F1 team manager and you create a car and everything, put it into a championship with any of your friends or even random people, and you essentially have 2D to a sense to where you can see your car going around the track and everybody else's car going around the track. You see your tire temperatures, your fuel. You have to manage all that stuff throughout the race. So it has all your standard F1 tracks and everything. So I wouldn't say all the newish ones. I don't believe Coda and stuff like that, and Russia and all that is currently in IGP, but that may be in the future. Also want to note that NX Racing Yellow, once again, all over the back of Team Chimera to Ben testing.
Also, I'd like to thank our other sponsor of the series this season, Derek Spear Designs. DerekSpearDesigns.com. Check them out. They were the title sponsor last round, offering 3 track bosses to the winning team of the series, and also some other prizes throughout the season.
Yeah, whether you win or whether you just race, and most of the races of the season, you have a chance of winning some DSD track bosses. Very kind offer by Derek Spear. Hope everyone appreciates that and goes after some of those track bosses.
So the race running smoothly so far. Few incidents.
Yeah, so far so good. We still have, I believe it's 58 cars running out of the 60. Just over an hour or so into the race. Also want to note that we have Jeremy Boudaloop currently side by side with the 113 car. Just made a pass for position. That is, oh, we see a spin in the background. Easy 360. Continue going.
Yeah, direct clutch.
Yeah,
they had
direct
a
clutch
off earlier in the race as well, I think. Well, they pulled off either way. They've had a bit of a troublesome race. Although they're in 14th. So, obviously not that bad.
Yeah.
If you haven't observed, top 3 represented by one of each of the BMW, McLaren, and Ruff.
Yeah, that's interesting, actually.
Ford is in little old 25th.
Yeah, let's not rag on it now. Glacier Racing's been doing a great job. I believe they started in about the 49th position, so they've done halved where they've started. So great job by them to get up to the 25th position currently.
So into the hairpin on lap 37 there is, you can see ahead in front of this train is Ben Tusting with that Team Chimera car, followed closely by Dave
Haylink.
Yellow. Haylink.
Yeah. I don't know names, but I know my own teammates' names. So.
That is, yeah, I would expect nothing less. And behind them both is PJ Sturgis in the NX Racing blue car. So the 2 NX Racing cars are chasing this Chimera machine. So they've got 2 goes. Maybe if one of them doesn't manage, the other will give it a go.
Yeah, PJ is actually, we didn't see him. We were looking at this battle about 2 laps ago. He wasn't there. So it looks like Ben Tusting, that is, for Team Chimera, has been a little off these past couple laps. This last lap was about a second slower, actually, than PJ Sturgis. So they can go much faster. I think maybe the fact that they pit early might be hurting them currently. I'm not quite sure. This only should have been about a 4-lap difference anyways, so who knows, really.
It's been getting pretty close with Dave Haylink as well. He's been right on the back, but not choosing to pass because it's just been a little bit too tight each of the times he's tried. But yeah, at some points he would like to get past because it does look like he is faster.
Surprised. Well, anyone who knows Dave, who's raced with him, probably knows he can be a little aggressive at times, and he's being very patient right now. Obviously, one mistake here, your race is over, essentially. So, trying to play it smart. Hopefully, Ben makes a mistake for him and he can get by. Because they were essentially ahead of Ben before pit stops, but Team Chimera during the early pit has jumped them.
massive crash lap ago, or during the last few minutes from car 93 Rincon Racing, Jose Arizia. 130R, clipped it, curb on the exit, overcorrected, got up on 2 wheels after hitting the tire barrier. Kind of severely damaging the right-hand side, I guess is the best way to put it. Carrying on though, didn't pit to feel out the car, see how it handles after that impact.
Also want to look at another battle here that's brewing up, is the number 83, which is actually the car that we saw spinning in 130R a couple laps ago. Back on it, Christopher Osborne for Direct Clutch Motorsport, currently behind New World Sim Sport 2. NT Piala? Piala? You do it, Paso.
Piala, yeah, we'll go with that. Yeah, and the Direct Clutch teams, there are 2 of them, as well as car 47, Custom Image Motorsport, and car 91, Team TTL. I'm told all Australian, so it's probably a little early at the moment for those guys.
Yeah.
Just 4 AM or something like that. That is commitment, so fair play. Fair play to anyone basically who is racing in an unsociable hour, and yeah, I think those guys have got it pretty hard.
Yeah, I just want to apologize to all the Australians out there for the timing. Obviously, you know, not the best for you guys. However, even though this is not an excuse at all, but normally you guys are screwed out of this type of thing with the timing as it is. So dare I say you guys are kind of used to it, so your sleeping pattern might already be messed up for a Saturday night, Sunday morning. 24-hour race though will be more kind to you as well. We're racing 24 hours, so.
Last night, around about 12 hours ago actually, had a couple of the custom image guys pop into this TeamSpeak, talked to them for a little bit. They were ensuring they had bookmark ready just in case they needed to come speak. Me and someone else whose name may be familiar to the series, if not iRacing Joe Literally. We're just showing disastrous iRacing videos for each team.
Disasters, really?
Not really. Not necessarily disasters. Not exclusively disasters.
Oh, here we go. Here, Direct Clutch Motorsports. Oh, we see a spin in the background. Not quite sure who that was.
That is Radicals Online 3, Eunice Nikarainen. Just nerfs the tire barrier to the inside of the track.
Oh, yeah.
Not by himself,
triangle. Yep. Recovering. Decides to redraw the track by cutting out the chicane.
Yeah, I think he's going to go straight
and
into the pits here.
Pit lane.
Yeah, I don't blame him. The whole front of the car is missing.
But yeah, just when that was happening, yeah, Christopher Osborne was giving it a go into the Cache Triangle, but wasn't able to quite finish the move. He still chases Anti-Piala. I can't do it. It can't be done. The name is impossible.
Yeah, well.
Pidaya.
It's one of those things, though, where, dare I say, the cars are pretty well balanced to the fact of, you know, you don't have one car necessarily way faster than the other. And we actually, if anything, we see that the roof has been rather good here. I hate to jump away to another car. Two other cars on track here, but position 2 and position 3, Team Redline and Iberica Racing Team. Moreno has actually shrunk the gap for Iberica down to 5.5 seconds. Before pit stops it was about 10.5. After pit stops it was around 8. Now it's down to 5. So I see there's a lot of traffic though that Iberica Racing Team's going through right now.
Yeah, that's sort of gone up a little bit.
Christian made a mistake there.
Yeah, very wide at between turns 1 and 2, but got away with it.
Yeah.
Still getting his iron fresh into the car.
A very tough track, really, to not make a mistake on. Especially turn 1, the McLaren, I know, as the tires tend to wear, that rear end is just very nervous going into the first corner.
Yeah, this track is a great. I love watching watching people on this track, but driving it is just the first time I drove on this track. I went up at every single corner. It's just impossible.
So joining us from the land down under, he heard us talking about the Aussies. So, we love him, and he figured he'd come in for a chat. From Custom Image Motorsport Car 47, Jake Burton. Jake, welcome to the commentary box. Hope you're not having to have toothpicks in your eyes to keep awake.
It's definitely 1:30 in the morning, but still, life goes on, and yeah, unfortunately, we just had a bit of an accident which woke me up a bit, but well, we'll keep going.
It looks like your car is currently a little damaged on the left side there. Do you know exactly what happened, or?
Yeah, my teammate Kurt, we call him Stenny. He had a bit of a moment 130R on cold tyres after we just pitted for fresh ones, and yeah, just overcorrected, went up into the fence and rolled over, so it was pretty spectacular. It's probably a shame you guys didn't catch it on the broadcast, but yeah, we'll push on. It's a long race, long way to go.
So you guys are back on your wheels though, so the flip, at least you landed on your wheels, so it's all good.
Oh, it was a seemingly pretty violent crash, and we only had 2 minutes of optional repairs, so we took those and back out there. I'm very surprised at that, to be honest.
Maybe it's the Australian lag. The server didn't catch all your damage in time.
I could understand that if we hit any other cars, but walls generally stay as hard no matter where you are in the world, unfortunately.
Yeah, that is very true.
So you could tell us a little bit about your team if you like. Tell us how you guys got together and sort of what you're sort of hoping to get out of this series as well. How it's been going so far.
Oh, well, yeah, we're just a bunch of friends from basically 4 different Australian sim racing teams. We've got Kurt Stenberg and myself, who drive for a team called Custom Image Motorsport, and I'm being the team manager and the guy who got it together, so that's why we're running it under that name. And we've got Lee Ellis and Madison Down, who are both members of Trans-Tasman Racing, which is probably the biggest and most successful team in Australian sim racing, and also Sean Kelly, who is also from TTR, and Mitchell McLeod from 4 Motorsports. So it's just a bunch of friends getting together to race a nice endurance race in a quality field each month and have a bit of fun doing it, I suppose, and really enjoying it at the moment. So
yeah, that's some big names from the V8 series.
oh yeah, for sure. We love our V8 and enjoy hopping in the GT3 from time to time. It's just a shame we aren't quite always as fast in this car as our Australian counterparts in Dylan Sharman and the TTL group.
I was just about to ask, is there like a little rivalry going on there?
Oh, well, until that most recent accident we had when there was a little bit of rage going on, we were all on the same TeamSpeak channel, so we're all friends, but of course when we're together on the racetrack, that friendship might cease a little bit.
Okay, so it's just like a little, kind of like a little partnership, I guess you could say. I believe you did say there were members in your team actually from TTL, so I guess not necessarily teammates as far as the cars are concerned and the teams, but you guys get along and everything really well.
Oh no, there's TTR members on our team.
Sorry.
Easily confused in our community for sure, but yeah, we're just a bunch of friends who really enjoy racing, and big members of the Australian community getting together and try and take on the world, which we haven't done too well so far, but hopefully we'll work on it in the next couple of rounds.
Yeah, it's tough. Obviously, one accident here, and things happen.
Oh yeah, we lost 20 minutes in the pits due to that glitch last week, should I say last month, but yeah, we just had some bad luck, and Stenny's very unhappy with what happened, so I'm sure he'll get over it and we can push forward.
Yeah, in the end, just have to hope you can do some consistent lap times, and as bad as it is to say, hope that cars in front of them have issues and gain some positions.
Yeah, as bad as it is to say, you you can only hope.
Exactly.
So how have you found the series so far? Has it been what you expect for what it's advertised?
Oh, it's been exactly what I expected. The competition's the best I've ever raced in iRacing, that being. So, yeah, of course, it's obviously going to be pretty intense, and obviously it's very well run considering the circumstances with iRacing and the tournament systems and whatnot at the moment, and really enjoying it so far despite our bad luck in the race events. The series has been very well put together and a lot of big names and a lot of big teams, so it's great to be a part of it, and I know every member of my team individually has enjoyed it despite our bad luck.
You think you have a chance to sneak into the top 30 in points after this round? Looks like you were in 32nd, only 2 points out of 30th. Think you might be able to get a high enough finish to squeak in?
Oh, well, we could always have that ambition that maybe we could, and I have perfect faith in my teammates, but guess it's just going to have to rely on a bit of bad luck on the part of the other drivers, and just a good, clean, decent run to the finish, I suppose, but there's still a very long way to go, so...
Well, best of luck to you. Thank you for joining us, and yeah, I hope your race. I hope you continue to enjoy your race and maybe pick up a few positions. And yeah, have a good rest of your race. Thank you, Jake Burton.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for having me, and look forward to seeing you towards the end of the race.
Before you go, you have any sponsors for your team you'd like to mention?
Oh, well, yeah, of course, massive thanks to Dayco and Hybrid Racing Simulations, Trans-Tasman Racing and Custom Image Concepts. Thanks, guys, for all the support and keeping us on the racetrack.
Excellent. Thank you for joining us. Good luck with the rest of the race. Feel free to pop in for a little bit during the 24-hour race.
Always forget about the plug your sponsors part. Yeah, that's always important. All the people who are supporting you. So just catching you up on the current order. It's Inex Racing Red currently leading with their slightly out of kilter strategy. We'll be interested to see if that works towards the end. Their lead is 8 seconds over Team Redline, and Iberica Racing Team in third, 1.5 seconds behind them. Fifth is Core Motorsports, and sixth is Team Carrera 2. Go ahead, Jonathan.
There is all sorts of gaggle going on here back somewhere in the order of 35th to 40th. I've got 5 cars. 35th is car 77. 36th is car 90. Then we got car 67 USCSR Team Frenzy. Marius White from Racing or Kraut Racing, and Simon Grossman. So 5 cars, all pretty much so line of stern. And I just saw them all side by side, 3, 4 abreast, well, at least 2 by 2, headed down the front straightaway into turn 1. Heard a little bit of contact, so some aggressive racing going on back here in the mid-pack.
Yeah, it looks like Nicholas Helm in that US CSR car is looking to have a go into Spoon. Brakes a little bit later than Raul Diago and Dream Factory car, and up the inside he goes, and he completes the move as they head out onto the back straight. If Diago can get a good exit, he might be able to get into the slipstream and retake that 35th position that he just lost. In fact, it looks like he is going to try and do that. That's the white car on your screen. And he pulls into the slipstream, and there's a little bit of weaving there from the Helm, but they will make it through the corner. And Helm nearly loses it on the exit of the chicane. Just keeps it going as into the pits comes the Dream Factory car after all of that.
Well, it looks like we've got a bit of a battle shaping up for P2 on the road. Enzo Benito is out of Team Redline car, so it's as if they added some weight. Christian Simchek in the car for Team Redline, getting chased down by Julian Rodriguez Moreno of Iberica Racing Team, the MP4. McLaren MP4 is the car just ahead. Both cars slightly monochrome.
Pulls over.
Nope.
Obviously, didn't want to delay himself by defending.
I don't know. He also let a lapped car by. That might have been a slowdown. It's interesting there.
Slow down through Degner.
He did. Yes, he actually took a little chunk of the inside of the first Degner. Yes, that could be it.
Yeah, because he basically threw out the anchor right.
Yeah, lost about 1.5 to 2 seconds, and that's pretty much what a slowdown is.
That's
so
interesting.
Now you can see, well, the overlay stayed up, and it's going to SimSport that's directly behind them, essentially, now. Less than a second.
Renz Brookman at the wheel of the number 18 Cohen to SimSports. White and purple BMW.
Oh, so I believe that was the Radicals Online
Radicals
3, wasn't it?
Jonas Nukarainen off on the exit of 130R. He is taking the escape route to get into pit lane. He'd been parked there for a long while waiting for a chance to recover. Hit the curb on the exit of 130R, spun off into the inside wall, hit it pretty hard with the left side and speared across to the right-hand side of the track, losing the bonnet of the car. So a hard go for them right now.
So Brookman from Commander SimSport is definitely catching Simchek. Simchek had to lap a car going into turn 1, although he didn't lose too much time, but nonetheless Brookman is a little bit quicker, it seems, around this part of the track in that BMW.
Yeah, Brookman's actually the fastest car that last lap from the entire field. So he's definitely laying down some laps. I was going to say that possibly Team Redline, I don't want to say no doubt, but it's pretty laid out that Enzo Benito is their #1 driver. He's possibly the best driver in the field as far as speed is concerned, and I think what they're doing is they're having him for the first stint, and they're going to have him for the last 2 as well. So they have the strong push there at the end.
Yeah, just a case of everyone else keeping it ticking over for the stints between his first and his last, I guess.
Exactly. Hopefully they don't have Christian doing three stints straight, but you never know. He's a real life racer. I'm pretty sure he can handle it. This also has huge championship implications as well. Note that a pole position is worth 5 points, and Team Redline have scored both poles this season, so they've gotten 10 points just from poles alone, and that really narrows it down in the championship. And if they finish in front of Coanda SimSport, they're practically ahead of the championship. But
going to the inside, and it's side by side into turn 1, and he's completed the move. Brookman takes 3rd position from Team Redline.
Yep, and that's also first in the championship. Indeed. Right there for Coanda SimSport.
Long way to go, yeah.
Yeah, it's very long.
48 of 173, so not even a 3rd distance quite yet.
Have a little battle here between the 20 and the 78 going into 130R. 20 car just overtook. Vortex Sim Racing versus Ham Endurance Team.
Yeah, quite a lot of damage on the back of that Ham Endurance Team car.
Yeah, they had a really slow last lap actually. 202.8 versus a 159.8.
Some issues there. Had nearly lost it on the exit of the final corner. Don't know if it's tyres or error or what, but yeah, that was that car not looking particularly happy.
Definitely some issues going on there. Also have another little issue going on. I don't want to say issue, sorry. With the number 7th position, or it's number 7 position. It looks like... Oh, I'm sorry. NX Racing Yellow have actually already pit. I was wondering why they were so far down the order. I thought possibly Dave Haling was timing out. However, they're... Oh, and they have damage. Left side of the car, heavy damage.
What if they... That's an unscheduled pit stop then.
We also have Jeremy Bouteloup on the back of Patrick Pickler for the 7th position. Number 7 of Pure Racing Team 1 and number 16 of Radicals Online 1. It was a real tough break last round for Radicals Online 1. I don't know if you remember, going into the carousel at Road America, they were clipped by the NX Racing Yellow car, who had I'd say an unsafe rejoin of the track, and pretty much took both of them out of the race.
Did earn an NXA stop go plus 30 seconds for that.
Yes, it did.
On the screen, the blue car is Patrick Pickler in the Pure Racing number 1. And yeah, followed by Bouteloup in the Radicals Online Team 1. That's car 16, that BMW. And yes, looking to make up for lost ground in the first round. It's a big shame, especially when you get taken out by an incident that was nothing to do with you. So
exactly.
Complete frustration.
They were doing a great job. I believe they had moved themselves all the way up to the 4th position. I think NX Racing Yellow were 3rd at the time. And it basically, wiped them both out. So... And we've seen Radicals Online 1. They also took the victory in the Neo Endurance Series in the LMP2 class at Sebring for their first round. So, Radicals, they're a fast team. People know that. They're in DWC and whatnot. So I'm sure they'll end up with a good finish here, as long as they keep out of trouble. And so far, Bouteloup has kept the car extremely clean.
So we're now on board with Bouteloup as he heads into turn number 1. It'll be interesting to watch him over this lap, see how close he gets to that Jurassic car. There's a spinner ahead of him, actually. That's a little bit challenging. Oh! Collision. That was NATO of AP Racing Black. And Pickler crashed straight into him. Got a good view of that on board. And yeah, I think it was really just a luck of the draw which way you were going to go there. Pickler perhaps misjudged it and yeah, smashed straight into the side of him.
Miguel Nito for AB Racing Black, just losing it on braking for turn 2.
Ooh, yeah, looking back at the replay, he looks like he was pulling off to the inside. He was trying to pull off the inside as he recovered, but Pickler was already on his way to the inside of the track. There would have been room, but the gap closed.
There was that much room anyway.
Yeah, it was a pretty tight fit, but it's hard to tell, if the car is facing out or facing in when there's just smoke in front of you.
The AB race car was doing the right thing at first by just holding the brake and holding his car stationary.
Yeah, it's very, very... We're just speaking of unfortunate events. Pure Racing team. It doesn't look like their pace is far off. They probably have a black flag to fix the damage, unfortunately. The front of the car, as you can see on stream, is, well, missing.
Yeah, any luggage in front of that car is well on its way out.
Well, thankfully the engine's not in the front of the car.
Yeah.
Only lost 2 positions from that. Notice that Ben Tusting is in the 10th position. Might want to look back and see why he's back there. Notice that NX Racing Yellow had damage they were battling with Team Kimura.
This for Daniel Garcia Domingo for GT Ross SST Orange, having it off at the DS's.
It looks like he's recovered.
This might have been induced by little bit of light contact from Renz Brooklyn of going to Sim Sports.
Also have a battle on screen right now. Is that Cracks Racing Team? And Mad Cow Racing.
So Mad Cow Racing, when I was doing an Australian shout-out earlier, I forgot to mention Mad Cow as well. So g'day to you guys as well. And yes, battling with the Cracks Racing team just then.
Yeah, NX Racing Yellow car just jumped right in between them. The car's not too damaged. Probably the fresh tires will, go into an overtake here soon. It's not for position. NX Racing Yellow are now 3-4 laps down.
We're going to try and find out what happened to it in NX Racing Yellow, because obviously they're further down than they were earlier. Multiple, yes, a fair few, yes, and yeah, a fair few laps down as well. So with damage, so yeah, something must have gone wrong for them. We'll find out what.
Also another battle on screen here. We have Virgil Racing, number 2 car, and we have the Ford GT, Glacier Racing, directly in front of them. Yanni Hagner currently piloting that car, the number 41 car.
Running a little bit wide, just getting away with it.
It's really risky. I do have a program running in the background which is telling me everyone's off tracks and trying to keep track, and we're checking to see if any of the teams who are abusing the off tracks and certain parts of the racetrack are actually abusing them, or if they're just losing time or whatever, a mistake essentially. Some of the areas like 130R we have to check each time, simply because you go off there, you hit the AstroTurf, you have to let off quite a bit to get back onto the racing surface as it is. So as long as people aren't running way wide and clearly gaining time, everything should be okay. Checking the same thing in Spoon and Degners and whatnot.
I have a report for you on what happened with NX Racing Yellow and Team Kimura.
So there was contact.
Oh, yes there was. Lap 47 going into the hairpin, braking for it. NX Racing Yellow more or less taps quite heavily the back of the Team Kimura car, setting Team Kimura spinning as the Kimura car came back to the outside of the track, had side-to-side contact with Dave Hellink, is it, for
yes.
NX Yellow? Losing quite a bit of time for Team Kimura. Ben Toasting.
Yeah, both teams definitely lost time. See here, maybe Virtual Racing can get a run into turn 1. Just note that the 4GT, even though I'm waving my hand up in the air right now, even though it's not the greatest car in the corners, it does have some straight line speed. The roof easily makes a move there.
I've got Matthias Whitty for Racemore Kraut Racing. Car 70 off at Spoon Curve. Oh, he's spinning again, so I'm not sure if he's got damage or maybe a flat tire.
Definitely doesn't have a flat tire.
Oh, he had side-to-side contact with Infinity Racing. Oh, there was some lag in that. I think that was kind of a phantom melding of the cars.
That wouldn't be the first time. It looks like they have pretty minimal damage, though, if any. Looks like NX Racing Red are into the pits again.
They're up in position 10. There's a good little battle going on between about 3 or 4 cars. We've got Antonio Madrid in the car 10, the car 113, Roof, being closely followed by Pilaha in the New World Simsport McLaren.
Oh, this is a gaggle of cars.
Yes, and the car in between those two is the US CSR car of Nicholas Helm down in position 35, so there's actually a lap or two down, just in front of Piala.
Yeah, the white and red.
And car 25's opponents for 36 and 37, they're not too far behind. Nicolo Roncelli for 8 or 80 is just behind these 4 cars, so there's 2 battles kind of merging there.
Yes, on separate laps. One of them, the lower down battle was on lap 53, those were on lap 54. And yeah, Christopher Osborne in the Roof, who's the 4th car in that queue, just coming into that hairpin now.
It's Direct Clutch Motorsport, isn't it?
Yeah, Direct Clutch P12, car 83, chasing down the New World Simsport McLaren. And it looks like that will probably be the next pass that gets made here if he decides to go for it. We're an hour and 51 minutes into this race, 54 laps.
.54 laps has been completed. Birica Racing currently in the lead, 2.2 seconds over going to Simsport. However, NX Racing Red have done their pit stop. They might get a little lucky here. They're looking to get past the number 20 Vortex Sim Racing car, and then after that they have about a 6-second gap to the next car. So hopefully they can make up some time.
Considering it's lap 54 and we're an hour and 52 of the way through, is this race longer than we thought it was going to be?
Not sure.
But actually just on track was a car lapping. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
I think it's going to be I was expecting it to be around. It might be the pit stops added in that could be throwing the time estimates that I set off. It could be 5 hours, 50 minutes in the end. Also note that the elapsed time in iRacing is not the direct lapse time of what they've been on track.
Off track.
Oh, and yeah, Christopher Osborne for direct
83.
Gone off.
He was attempting to actually put a lap on Nicholas Helm on the final element of the S curve, but instead found himself in the gravel.
Yeah, it looks like the car's now letting him all by. So
yeah, obviously a bit of regret there from Helm perhaps, but he didn't really do anything particularly wrong. Just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, obviously Christopher Osborne, Direct Clutch Motorsport, they're wanting to stay up with the cars ahead. So you see the car ahead of you overtake a lapper, you want to overtake him as fast as possible so you don't lose touch.
45 seconds. 45 second stop go penalty for Infinity Sports Car 46 with an unsafe rejoin at the hairpin earlier in the race.
Have another battle on track as well. Number 74 Flux Racing Team. See them currently behind Pure Racing Team 2, number 9 car.
Yeah, it's battle for P23. Heading into Degner.
And we've got Andy Purford, Atlantic Racing Team, off at the exit of the Casio Triangle. Oh, rejoins almost in front of the car. Sure, given that forever car 84, the Atlantic Racing Team looks like they're trying to make it into the pit lane here.
Oh, as we see Pure Racing Team go way off there.
Yeah, that was really, really close, actually. He touched the gravel on the outside of the runoff area and really could have found himself skating into a wall, but just got away with it. Lost a place, though. Lost a place to Kishima, excuse me.
I have no idea how to pronounce that name.
K-Mel, I'm going to go with, actually.
K-Mel, I like that, yeah. J would be silent. Just want to note that Isaac Price, who pit early from the lead, is now, well, in a huge gaggle of cars, dare I say, for NX Racing Red. However, after this, there's not many cars ahead of him. There's one more car you can see in the distance, red, I believe that's red, white, and blue BMW, or is that black? I swear I'm not colorblind. There's some blue in there.
I'm hearing in my ear, we've got a battle for P3, which is starting to shape up between Alexander Voss and Kristen Simchik. Last lap for Simchik is a 2 minutes, .918. Alexander Voss, a 1:59.922, so almost a full second faster is Core Motorsports over Team Redline right now. Both drivers close to pit stops, 27 laps since. Wait a minute,
that's about close, 27 laps. Pit around lap 30.
I just had this massive fear that I'm just still stuck in road here.
Looks like Christian's been struggling a little bit here. Ever since he got in the car, he's dropped back a little bit. Core Motorsport really strong in round 1, really shown it again in round 2.
If I remember rightly, didn't they have a massive incident, though, late in the race?
Core Motorsport? No, they finished 4th in round 1.
Oh, there was someone else then that was doing fairly well in the header.
Yeah, they started not too great for round 1, and they battled through the field, and it was with 8 laps to go, they passed Pure Racing Team 1 around the outside into turn 1 to grab the 4th position. I believe they're hoping not to make those daring moves right at the end.
Voss gets it all the wrong through the Dunlop curve, runs wide.
Hopefully that shouldn't have gave him any form of damage hitting all those bumps. Highly doubt it.
It was a really, it was a little moment that just got worse and worse and worse, and eventually he just caught a wheel onto the grass, and that was it.
I think once you step those outside tires onto the dirt, you really just have to almost stop turning to make sure that the car runs into the dirt and doesn't start spinning.
Yeah.
From there, it just got worse.
He was, he was just in the, I guess, dirty air of that Redline car, and yeah, had a little tiny moment, and yes, just touched the grass and had to, yes, stop steering, stop braking, stop everything, and hope for the best.
All right, so we're gonna We're gonna stop looking at them just so we don't give them some kind of curse.
Just
I don't wish to do
behind
that.
Voss is a battle for 23rd and 24th between cars 19 and 23. 23 being that BMW blue and black Matthias Schoger, Trinity Motorsports 3, and Nicholas Pomerade of JCL Sim Racing MOE team, car 19. Seeing in the IRC that Last Lap Motorsports got a 15-second stop go for speeding from the system.
Oh, that's not good. Definitely don't want to speed in the pits here. Actually, anything happening in the pits is pretty bad. The walls on pit entry are literally right next to you, so you have to be really careful there.
I'm hearing through IRC. Actually, it's about 20 minutes late, but oh, someone off just ahead going into 130. 2 cars off. KRT Motorsport, Brian Carey, also having incident with Peter Ridley of Infinity Esports going into 130R. I was just looking through another car, and that is a big incident. Looks like the Infinity car was holding towards the middle of the track, and the KRT car tried to take over a little more space on the right, and had a big incident going into 130R.
So yeah, I'm looking at that as well. And, they made contact halfway down the straight and then made contact again going in. I'd be very surprised if you aren't looking at that as a steward's inquiry there, Jonathan.
Well, anyway, what I was saying before I noticed that, car 84, the Hellenic Racing team, Mr. Panolos from that team reported to me about 20 minutes ago that they got a bit screwed, quote-unquote, from a towing bug, and now the driver is on a mad charge of overtaking slower cars. They would like some airtime.
Some airtime. I see front end damage.
Yes, I see a hosed car.
Oh, I thought they meant they wanted to like jump like over a ramp, get some air.
Well, that might be too.
It looks like they've had some damage. But yeah, that's the on-road stream right now. That's actually the car is appearing white with a big black hole in the front.
Yeah, it's actually not battling for position with any cars ahead of them. But that is actually a battle for position directly ahead of them. Don't worry, HRT, you're still on the stream, just kind of in the background of this battle.
Yeah, so that's Jamie Wilson, Team Camara, with Richard Holiday of Last Lap Motorsports going alongside. Up the inside, it's going to be of 130R. Who's going to get there first? Who's going to brake late?
Let's please be smart. Okay.
Oh, well played. They kept it clean. And the 52 car of Holiday goes ahead into position 37.
I wonder if that's actually Holiday. Like, I always see it spelled with like an A or something. It has a Y in there. And also Team Camara just pit. So that possibly why they let him by so easily there.
Yeah, not worth having a crash over, definitely.
Also another battle here for the 17th position three-way battle. Team Camara, number 2 car, number 54, Simon Trindle. Looks like he's already done his second pit stop. I don't believe that the 74 of Flux Racing team and the number 9 of Pure Racing Team 2 have pit. Looks like Simon Trindle for Team Camara, they just came out of the pits, so they're fresh tires. Like they're going to be able to pull away from the other 2 cars behind them. Flex Racing Team's already passed Pure Racing Team 2, so I doubt that's also going to be a battle for position. A few positions further back, we have actually the battle we were talking about previously before everything happened. JCL Sim Racing trying to hunt down Trinity Motorsport 3. Number 19 trying to get into position 19. Looks like they're running about the same lap times though, so not gaining any ground really on them. We have Glacier Racing Car. Just made a move. CTC Racing, number 49. 4GT has moved up yet another position. Don't know if they've actually done their second pit stop or not yet.
So we're already past the 3rd distance now. So it's going to be probably a little under 6 hours this race, as you predicted.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. A little change of strategy here, because normally we have the 6-hour races, and MOE is the shortest races of the season. We thought it'd be a little bit different, do 100 kilometers of Suzuka, since that is, or 1,000. Whoa, sorry. Since that is a real, race here. Yeah, 100 kilometers of Suzuka would have been over by now, so I think I made a mistake there.
Yeah, slightly.
It would definitely have more free time today.
Now let's put these drivers through a test.
I like that.
So the first car on track, having made 2 stops, is the NX Racing Red machine.
We also see that, we actually have a lot of driver changes here going on. Sorry to throw different things at you here. We have Coanda Simsport, who's already done a pit stop. Now Klaus Kivakis, hopefully I said that correctly, is currently in that car. We also have Team Redline, Enzo Benito's back in the car.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see how he does stacked up against his... Yeah, I mean, most of the names I can see now are fresh faces on who didn't start the race.
Yes, also Pablo Lopez for Iberica Racing Team, number 10 car. They are essentially position 2 right now behind NX Racing Red, who are in the lead. Isaac Price currently leading. Oh, and I just heard some clobbering going on in the hairpin just behind them.
Coanda Simsport was slow at the exit of the hairpin. They had together with RipTV.org Racing.
Yes, there's some big damage there. Let's go back in time here and look at a replay. Hopefully we get it all.
RipTV got a loop.
Currently looking at the Coanda Simsport car here.
Yeah, just heading towards that, a couple of corners away. Is there going to be? I think it's this portion in front that's going to be causing the problem, or part of the problem.
Yeah, the rough. He gets loose at the apex of the hairpin. I think is what happened.
So a little look.
Going into the corner now. Oh yeah, just lost the rear there. They're waiting. Oh, just slight.
Coanda nowhere to go.
Yeah, and they've had to wait. I want to say that's pretty minimal damage. Hopefully.
Yeah, back in real time now.
Yeah.
As they head back to the start-finish line, are they pulling in? They are.
They are pulling in. Hopefully that didn't give them some form of black flag and they have to fix it. Required damage or anything like that. It's very slight damage. Shouldn't have Shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, that's a big problem because they've already done 2 stops. So
Yeah, this is really going to hurt them from here on out.
Tied championship leaders. This is going to really hurt, and Redline are going to have a really good shot at taking the championship lead. That's a big moment. I think partly Kivakes probably could have avoided it, but there was a car on the inside, and so he couldn't go anywhere. He had no chance, basically. It was really unfortunate. It was an odd place to lose the car for the roofer in front. It was a sort of a middle of the corner kind of spin, a middle of a slow corner. So you wouldn't expect that to happen.
Some other fresh faces. We see Core Motorsports driver change. Also NX Racing Blue driver change. Pretty much everybody who started the race, well, at the top end of the field, are not currently in the car. Also Mac Backham for Radicals Online 1. Just came out of the pits.
So I seem to have a driver for TTL Motorsports, which once I find them. Team TTL,
yes.
Is currently running in some position on the track, which is
7th.
7th. Dylan Sharman, welcome to the MOE commentary box.
Good afternoon, fellas.
Good
afternoon.
Well, for me, it's morning.
Yeah. It's afternoon here. It's evening.
It's well and truly in the morning at the moment here.
Well, how are you managing? Have you got the toothpicks in your eyes? Got some tape holding your eyes open?
Yeah, look, I'll be honest, I smashed down a bottle of Gatorade, half a bottle of Red Bull and some water, so I'm pretty lively at the moment. I'm wide awake, so it's been a good start to the race for us, that's for sure.
So you guys currently moved your way up to the 7th position. I don't actually remember where you guys started. Apologies for that. It's pretty far up though, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, we started in 11th, so first couple of laps were crazy, that's for sure. And Hilly's just working his way through a couple of lap cars there, but yeah, we're looking pretty good so far. So haven't got any glitches from iRacing yet, which is good.
Yeah, that's always good to hear, actually. Did you guys find everything respectful at the start? Didn't really notice any cars going off the first lap or so.
Yeah, it was really clean. There was a lot of side-by-side action, but everyone gave room. Obviously, with us having a higher ping than what some other people do, so everyone gave room. It was a good clean start. Still crazy, but yeah, no contact to say, so good fun.
Oh, very good to hear. Very good to hear. Noticed you guys didn't make round 1. Was that just you guys didn't have time, or to put in the qualifying, or?
I didn't know. To be honest, I didn't know if we actually had a team to begin with, and we had the Bathurst 1000 the week before, and a lot of our drivers were spent from that, so they wanted the week off. So I was a bit irritated at that, but you know, we're here now and we're running good, so hopefully we can have a good result here and get our way into the top 30 and bring on the 24-hour in a month's time.
Yeah, I think even if you guys aren't technically in the top 30, you guys really have the pace to easily qualify your way in.
Yeah, no, it was a good qualifying for us. we came and raced in the McLaren, and I don't know how Enzo was that quick. That was a freak. Enzo's a freak, but it was pretty close between everyone else, and you know, a couple tenths quicker, and you could either be, you know, second or 40th. So it's pretty crazy tight in the front there.
Yeah, it was great times by everyone. I believe the whole field was separated by 1.8 seconds. Without Enzo's lap, it would be about 1.5. So thank you, Enzo, for spreading the field out. His lap, by the way, is on YouTube for anybody who wants to watch it. You'll get to see how he went that fast. Speaking of the Bathurst 1000, V8 supercars.
Was it the real one or the?
No, real one. No.
That was in October, wasn't it?
Well,
yeah, the real one was in October. Yeah.
Yeah. Then you have. Was it the same weekend or the weekend before you guys had a Bathurst 1000 in iRacing?
I think
it was the weekend before.
I think it was the weekend. No, I think it was the weekend after, because I know Scott McLaughlin, he raced the 1000 in real life and then came and raced in our 1000. So yeah,
that's awesome to hear.
Yeah, that was pretty good. So
I once did a MX-5 race about 3 years ago with Shane Van Gisbergen. He lapped me.
Did you make? Yeah, he lapped you. Oh, that's not surprising.
Twice.
No, that's no surprise. You guys,
yeah.
Are you a Ford or a Holden guy, Dylan?
I'm a Holden person myself. We have a couple of Ford guys in the team, so when the new Ford gets released, we're not sure what we're gonna do there, but
oh, for the team events, that's gonna be interesting. What are you gonna choose?
Yeah, we don't know. We'll have to sort it out. Might have to stamp my authority as team manager and say we're gonna run the Holden, but
just make sure that all the fast guys are on your side and the Holden, and you put the other in the Ford, and it's all good.
Yeah, definitely.
You can just say that Holden's just faster than the Ford. That's just how it is.
Yeah, that's it.
So you don't have any, I should say, Nissan or Mercedes or Volvo guys in the team?
I think we all like, I guess all the cars, and in 2017 that's going to be a big change because they're actually just announced that they're going to allow coupes, like two-door sedans, into the V8 series.
Yeah, I'm really surprised by that move, actually. I guess is it that they just want more manufacturers, or I guess that's also going to have more cars in the field in general because of that?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's just the way racing's evolving now, with, you know, GT3 being so huge over in Europe with the Blancpain series and that, and I think, you know, V8 slowly has to sort of migrate to something similar to that, because that's just the way racing's going at the moment. Obviously, it's, you know, it's huge over in Europe, so it might start taking off a bit here.
Yeah, that is true. They don't have a race in Australia, so who knows?
No, yeah, it should be interesting. But they got the Bathurst 12 hour.
Yeah, that is true.
So it should be good to see how everyone goes at the Bathurst 6 hour in Masters of Endurance when that comes around.
Are you excited for that?
Oh, very excited. Until you touch a wall and break your car on like the first lap.
Oh, don't think about that. I don't even want to think of people doing that.
Yeah, it's a track where you can't make one mistake, otherwise you're in the fence and you're done. So it'll be pretty interesting, that's for sure.
Yeah, the last thing I want to see is going up the hill or even down the hill, and there's 54 cars and someone in like the top 10 going sideways on like lap 1 or 2, and it's going to be mayhem after that.
Well, that was the thing in our Bathurst 1000 we ran. We had I think it must have been middle of the pack, someone spun into the dipper and blocked the track, so we had to call a safety car. The whole track was blocked and half the field was like a minute behind after the first lap, so...
Can we get Neil Crofton to commentate the Bathurst race with us? Get Scafey, and that way when there is a track jamming, we just have Krampus screaming at the top of his lungs the track is jammed.
Yeah, he loves that. He loves screaming at the top of his lungs, so...
I was sad that the rain caused loss of signal by maybe legitimate viewing of the Sydney race last night.
Yeah, that was... I think everyone was sort of hoping for rain, and then it came down and it's bucketed, so...
It was like worse than Malaysia.
Yeah, it was really bad. All the guys were saying, like, just going through Facebook that they were saying that how bad it was, and they made the right decision not going back out there. And some of the photos that were appearing, like, oh my god, crazy.
At one point during the red flag, I saw like a Gatorade bottle, some soda bottle, just floating in a puddle behind one of the curbs.
Yeah, some spectators throwing a bottle out there by the sounds of it.
Or just got blown.
Yeah.
We asked this for Jake Burton, who was in here about an hour or so ago. How is your look or view of the number 47 custom image car? Do you guys have like a little rivalry, like on track maybe? And he said that you guys are pretty good friends. You're all kind of in the same TeamSpeak channel. Is it kind of like a little rivalry on track?
Oh, I guess there is. Like in qualifying, you know, me and Madison Down were really, like, Madison's a very, very good V8 driver and very good driver overall, and we just kept pushing and pushing and pushing each other. Like, that's why I think we ended up so high in the grid, is because no one wanted to lose to the other driver. So, like, we're within I think 0.02 of each other. So there's a little rivalry there, and it's good fun. It keeps it good. So, and it's always good, you know, at 3 AM to have someone to talk to on TeamSpeak when you're both racing along. So
yeah, that is true. I can attest to how difficult that is. Being American, I would always have to, as we just saw, pass on track. But being American, all the night stints and like 24-hour races and stuff, I'm always stuck on that. So I'm always racing from like 2 to 6 AM or something for the Europeans to get on.
yeah, you got the graveyard shift.
Exactly, it's terrible. So currently you guys,
That's been, and someone else had just gone off. That was David Mata for G-Tross SST Silver. Who was that just up ahead who had to go all around the outside of him?
I think that was Marlboro.
That was Miko Ninimaki from Marlboro.
Looks like all cars, no damage though, that's good.
Yeah, Matt got away with that one. Considering how many cars there were around him, I'm surprised. But yes, he spun in the middle of the track and got away with it.
And we have a battle for 4th and 5th. NX Racing Blue, Laurent Bettel getting around Sam Michaels of R4R Motorsport.
What?
P4.
They're car number 4, Deco.
Oh, car 4.
Sounds a little tired.
You know, yeah, iRacing needs to have things a little bit different.
But actually, you did bring up a good point. NX Racing Blue, I don't know if they're being caught necessarily or what, but they have the Radicals on line 1 of Mac Backham catching up ever so slightly.
I know what happened. I got confused. I saw P5 because our spotter Boothie loves to speak in incomplete sentences.
So back to you, Dylan. Sorry for cutting you off there. There's a bunch of things going on. You guys have Matthew Hill currently in the car. I don't know if you have a nickname or anything like that for him, but is there...
we just call him Hilly.
Hilly? Alright. What's with you guys and the Ys and stuff?
I don't know. I think it's just, yeah, no one knows. Probably just an Australian thing, I guess.
Do you guys... Is it just you and him racing this race, or do you have maybe a third driver that's going to pop in after Hill?
Yeah, so we got, obviously Hilly's in now for a double stint, and then we're going to get our third driver, Richard Hampstead, who hopefully wakes up. If not, I'll have to get back in the car, but otherwise he'll jump in and do the last stint, and I think it's about 3/4. I think the McLaren probably needs to put in about 100 litres in the final stint, give or take some, so...
Yeah, you guys have a strong third driver there.
Yeah, Hammer always wanted to do this, so I'm hoping he wakes up in time.
Yeah, but, tell him if he doesn't wake up in time, he never gets to do it ever again.
Yeah, that's it. But I thought I might stay awake anyway. I've had too much Red Bull, so I ain't going to sleep anytime soon. But yeah, Hammer's a very good steerer, so he was pushing to sort of get this going as well as what I was. So yeah, he's a good steerer, so hopefully he can bring the car home and get a top 10 for us, at least.
Just to pop in with a quick note on some happening just now. About a minute ago, had Car 61, GripTV.org racing. Juha-Pekka Lami go off, get a twitch on in the middle of Spoon Curve. A little too wide on the curve, lost it on the reapplication of the brakes, and It snapped back and had a kind of light tap of the tire barrier on the outside. He is pit repairs.
Also, for someone asking on Twitter about what happened to Coanda SimSport, they're going through the hairpin, and they were behind a lapped car in front of them, and the car in front of them basically slid sideways, and Coanda SimSport pretty much stopped, and it was light contact made. However, somehow I don't know if it knocked the radiator, knocked a hole in the radiator or what, but they were forced to do a pit stop because of that. So unfortunately, they're about 2 to 3 laps down in the 42nd position. So absolutely terrible luck for them. Going to hurt them really bad in the championship. Team Redline currently 3rd, for example. But who knows? Team Redline's not necessarily going for the victory right now. They still have Pablo Lopez and Iberica Racing Team in front of them, about 10 seconds ahead of them, and then another 8 seconds up the road is NX Racing Red, who are on a bit of a different strategy.
Isaac Price currently in the car for NX Racing Red.
He's been doing a good job, actually, keeping that car up front. DWC driver, so I expect him to do pretty well.
So Dylan, I trust you are looking most forward to the 6 Hours of Bathurst later in the season, or are you looking more forward to one of the other rounds remaining in this MOE season?
Yeah, I'm mainly looking forward to the 24-hour. That's the big one. I guess that's the one everyone wants to win, like any other race. But you know, that should be a good race, and it's going to be interesting because I have sport that day as well. So I've got to try and figure out some sort of strategy, try and get myself in the car somewhere. But we'll see how we go. But otherwise, yeah, that'll be a big one. So have to try and get some of our other drivers to get in the car for that one. But that's definitely one we're looking forward to.
Have you ever been part of a 24-hour sim race before?
No, actually, I haven't. Like, iRacing's my first real proper, I guess, sim racing sort of series. So, or go simulator. So this would be my first ever 24-hour. So pretty excited to see how it goes. That's for sure.
You think you'll all be able to handle it? You know, plenty of examples from past 24-hour races where teams just have communication issues throughout the night when you're on low staff. You have an idea on how you're going to cope with those possible issues?
At the moment, I'm not sure. I guess the main thing is just getting your strategy laid out early and making sure that, you know, there's at least 2 people on TeamSpeak ready to run whenever, just in case, you know, someone drops out. So I guess it's mainly being prepared for anything, like, you know, at Bathurst in the 1000, like, Hilly dropped out, so I had to, you know, quickly get in the car. So you just got to be prepared for, you know, some random net failure or something like that. So
I know a strategy I've seen used in 24-hour races before for the poor guy that's doing a quadruple or quintuple stint during the middle night. Someone who's sitting there, like sings to him to try and keep him awake.
We've had some weird things where people are singing. I think I was in a 3-hour stint one time, and they pulled me up into the commentary booth, and I was basically doing like an onboard interview or an in-car interview as I was driving. I would never do that in iRacing though. I think that's way too sensitive, especially to an iRacing. You know, you crash, you're done pretty much. So I would not want to do it then. There's been always little things that keeping people awake.
I think you had to restrict some colorful language that time.
Yes, and also in another year as well, broadcasting. So you guys have to race for 24 hours. Unfortunately for me, I'm operating cameras for 24 hours. So possibly commentating.
You'll be stacking up on the caffeine that day.
Yes, I'm probably gonna have to like buy a little mini fridge and like put it right next to me.
Yeah, definitely. Keep the kettle boiled.
It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's a thing or not for us. I guess in 24 hour. I guess the race will start around that 3 AM. So you know we have 6 hours, or I guess 4 hours till the sun rises for us, and then we have all day, and then we have only 4 hours again when the sun goes down at night. So we don't technically have to do a full night stint like the Europeans will. We can sort of just come in half and half. So that might be a bit easier for us trying to navigate drivers and that. So
That's true.
So Dylan, any sponsors of Team TTL you'd like to plug right now?
I wish we did. We have some fake sponsors, but that's really about it. We don't really have any sponsors at the moment, so I'd just like to thank Masters of Endurance and the guys at Sim Race TV for broadcasting the event. You know, it wouldn't be possible without you guys running it, so I'd like to thank you guys, definitely.
Thank you for entering the series.
No worries, guys. Have a good evening. It is there, so.
Good afternoon, good evening, good day, good morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, have a good
life.
morning over there. Please get some
Good
sleep
innings.
after the race.
Oh, I will. Right. Have a good one, guys.
Thank you. Dylan Sharner for Team TTL. They're one of the many Aussies we've got this round. Been having a gander on your monitors, screens, whatever you're looking at this on, phones here at home. Or there at home. Not here at my home. My home's not big enough for all of you. Battle for 12th between Alexander Kitano, AB Racing Silver, trailing the number 113 car in 12th of David Mata, GT Ross SST Silver.
I remember the 113 had a spin a few laps ago. I think they've recovered nicely, trying to get back going.
I think that was the other GT Ross car.
Was it really? Oh.
I think so, yeah, because they were in the pits for ages. I think it might be 61 or something. No, oh no, I don't know. Maybe you're right.
I believe the other one is the number 112. Is the other GT Ross car? I don't know. Is the GT ROS? I don't know. GT Ross most likely. I need to learn more team names. Also have a battle for the 4th position, or possibly 5th position. Oof, Radical's really trying to make their way through traffic currently. Car directly in front of them, NX Racing Blue.
Yeah, NX Blue not negotiating the lap traffic quite as aggressively yet.
Let's go on board actually with Mac Backham. I know he likes some little air time here. Oh, little twitch exiting Spoon there.
Bit of the commentator's curse, I think.
Yeah.
He's got a bit of slipstream. I don't know if he's going to do anything with it. I think at this point he'd probably just want to stick him behind and try somewhere else, as he does.
I think, as daring as it is, turn 1 might be the good spot to do it.
Yeah, relies on a very good exit out of here, and it looks like he's done a reasonable job. He's got to nicely balance the throttle out of that chicane section, and he is in the slipstream, but I'm not sure if he's close enough.
Yeah, I don't believe he's close enough. He's sticking his car out just a little bit. NX Racing Blue have a pretty easy gap here going into turn 1. I think the main overtaking move here is just hoping the car in front of you makes a mistake. Not very easy to pass at all.
Backham took it tighter through turn 2 though.
As you can see on the windshield of the Radicals Online car here, dirt buildup. Not sure who is behind to get that. Clearly he's been following lappers and stuff throughout the race. I don't know if a car possibly had damage in front of him, was leaking fluid or anything like that. I can also fill up the screen pretty bad.
I think looking through this camera view is probably one of the most realistic. It looks one of the most realistic views in iRacing, especially going to Turn 1 with the sun bouncing off the windscreen. It's really, almost looks like real life. Almost.
Definitely about as close as you can get. iRacing's, I guess you can call it the prediction code, not necessarily a net code, where it makes the cars look, you know, really smooth around the track. That really helps. Mac has a really good run here. See what he can do on the exit.
Yeah.
He trails out a little bit wider on the exit. He has a good run through here.
Oof. Doesn't quite want to give it a go. Probably a wise decision. This is a battle for 5th. You're on board with the Radicals Online 1 car. Following the NX Racing Blue of Laurent Bataille.
15 laps since the last pit stop for NX Racing Blue, 12 since the last for Radicals Online 1. So about halfway through their stints here.
It looks like Laurent for NX Racing Blue gets a better run out of the final corner. But Mac is, I don't want to say better everywhere else, but he's definitely definitely good throughout the rest of the track. Actually, Laurent pretty good there out of turn 1. Also note that obviously the draft is helping Mac back him in the Radicals car. Mac a little mistake there exiting the corner. Ran a little wide.
Heading through Degner 2.
We have a huge battle. Not really a huge battle. Dare I say huge battle. Just a gaggle of cars. Mad Cow Racing running wide here. A bunch of cars for battling for position. Actually, I'm unsure here. Yes, there's 3 cars actually battling for position in this shot that you see.
Mad Cow Racing, the cow livery car. Just up ahead is David Martinez for, that is position 18, that is Cracks Racing Team.
Yes, and then Radicals Online 2 directly in front of them.
Yep. Cracks Racing looks to the outside, tries to switch over, and has done it.
That was a good move there.
Yuri Wittok for Radicals. Looks like he ran a little wide on the entry to the Casio Triangle, and that lost him boatloads of time.
You can see on screen there's a bunch of cars going down the front straightaway currently.
Couple lapped cars, then behind those 2 lapped cars behind the Mad Cow Racing car is the 19th place car.
Battles all over the track here actually. We have another one. We've looked at them before. Marlboro Motorsport car, number 77. Currently in a battle with, I believe, Ham Endurance Team directly in front of them. Going through 130R right now.
Yep, 78 is Sergio Dorelli and the Ham Endurance Team. With
The back of that car is pretty damaged.
Yes,
we were speaking about that earlier.
This could be harming the, most definitely is harming rear downforce.
Yeah, also probably hurting the exit of the corner.
He's run wide at 2.
Also want to note P5 battle still going on between NX Racing Blue and Radicals Online.
Got those 2 heading up to Spoon Curve. Close on at the exit of Spoon. A little bit of slight contact as NX was bottled up behind a lapped car. And again, back up with slipstream towards 130R. He peeks out to the left. Will he stay on the inside? Yes! Side by side for 130R. NX runs wide. Radicals up to 5th.
Oh, I don't know.
Tries
Fighting back.
on the inside.
Mac has the inside here. Yeah. NX Racing Blue, Laurent really smart there. Just given the just gonna have to give him the position in the end. Aggressive, a little aggression by both. Laurent playing nice there, just kind of giving extra room at the exit 130R, running a little wide. Aracle's online car has been moving up through the field quite nicely though. Currently in the 5th position. No pit stops or anything altering that result.
They're on tyres that are 3 laps fresher, but really it was a good move. Although I think the Laurent Batal could have possibly fought back had he not just been slightly blocked out when he was passed into the Casio triangle. If he maybe cut back sooner, he'd have had a chance of passing again. But still, not even halfway through the race, I think it would really matter too much to lose a position. Bit of dust ahead of them, nothing too much to worry about.
I was going to note that the 54 of Simon Trindle for Team Camaro, they are right behind the number 7 Pure Racing Team 1 car. However, the number 7 has just entered the pits. And notice, yes, they still have that front damage. So, looks like they're okay to proceed with it, from what I can tell.
By the way, don't forget, as you watch racing, get in touch with us many ways. Quickest might be Twitter. You can follow us at, NX Racing Blue has just slammed into the wall at the exit of 130R. That is, Laurent Patel has run wide and just destroyed the front right, of that car coming out of 130R.
They'd be making progress. Or they've been up in the top 6, weren't they?
Yeah, we're just in the 6th position when that happened.
Yeah, just being passed by the Radicals team, and yeah.
Hashtag IRMOA.
So we have a replay.
Yep, take a look at this.
Xing Spoon right now.
So he's just been past the Radicals car up ahead. There's no one else really around.
Probably clipped the outside curb here. Yep.
Yep.
There's a little bit of AstroTurf and it's just an overcorrection simply after losing it there. That's almost what I was speaking about earlier. When you get on that little bit of AstroTurf, you kind of just want to run wide. Don't risk it.
So hard impact for NX Blue, that will drop them well down the order.
Also want to note that the 44 and 20 battle for 8th position here.
Couple MP4s battling here as Vortex Sim Racing. Christian Thilo Zuch in 10th in car 20. Someone off
Can't
slow,
say you didn't
just
pucker up
ahead.
there. Almost puckered up there thinking he was going to try to make that move. That's also the car directly in front of them.
That's Kimmerer.
Is, yes. Yes it is. Oh.
Oh, and Thilo Zuch looking to the inside at the hairpin.
Yeah, they're still side by side
up
here.
to Spoon.
Good thing he never closed the door. Farouk Manzar in the number 44 car. Kept his nose there and then couldn't keep it entering Spoon.
It's the battle for ninth, and yeah, Manzar's just fallen away a little bit. Wasn't quite able to go at the same speed round Spoon.
Yeah, and the car directly in front of the Vortex Sim Racing car is the Team Camaro 2 car. It looks like they just ran onto the AstroTurf as well. I'd probably say the McLarens that, I don't know, the roof is pretty tough through that corner as well. McLaren has a little twitch going on when you go through 130R. The BMW, it's more one of those things where it's a little understeer, you push wide, and then you hit that AstroTurf and things happen. Manzar isn't done yet for New World Sim Sport 2. For anyone curious on the lead battle, still have Isaac Price for NX Racing Red leading over Iberica Racing Team, Pablo Lopez at the wheel, and Enzo Benito and Team Redline running third. Pit stop should be happening within the next 10 laps. Not sure when NX Racing Red will be pitting, as they're on a little bit different of a pit strategy. I guess around lap 85 or so.
Yeah, that's in about 5 laps' time. 27 laps on their current stint. Yeah, still waiting to see how that's going to stack up at the end of the race.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I don't know how much fuel, the difference in fuel, and also tires. I mean, they're going to be a little bit older tires at the very, very end of the race compared to the cars who are short pitting at the end. So, curious how this ends up. At least it got him out of traffic, got him into the lead. So, I think it, for sure, a safe third position, how it is right now. But at the end of the race, of course, everything can change as far as gaps are concerned.
So you're currently watching Vortex Sim Racing with Christian Thilo Zuch behind the wheel, actually making a pass now.
Yeah, what's up with that? Team Camaro car. Maybe they cut the chicane there.
Looks like they had a slowdown because they're back up to speed. Let's have a quick look to see what they did at the chicane. Yeah,
that'd be the second time they do that.
Didn't it? Oof, it was touch and go, really. I mean, Irish can be quite harsh in that regard, but I wouldn't have given that a slowdown.
Interesting. Now they're going to be all over the back of Manzar.
Yep, all that work to do again. They lost 2 positions. Down into P9.
Notice they actually don't have a lap time. Simon Trindle and Team Camaro, that is. So maybe they did get a slowdown.
Yeah, it looks like they did. He's got, his tyres are now 23 laps old versus Krug Manzars, who are 22 laps old. So no difference there.
He's dropping off a little bit still.
Yeah, he's fallen away even further. About to be unlapped. Car number 76 looking to unlap him, and he's run off wide as a result.
Yeah, Falcon GP car, 76 car.
Trindle can't slow down too much more because he's got David Matter in the GT Ross SST silver car, just a few seconds behind up the road.
Yeah, about 3 seconds back. Also have another little battle with number 52 and number 74, Last Lap Motorsports and Flux Racing Team. About a half second apart currently, nothing too close. Who knows, I might have actually missed this. Oh no, I don't think I did. The actual pass for position. Did you see the 52 Last Lap Motorsports car make a little mistake exiting Degner's there? Or Degner 2?
Yeah, it looks like they have swapped position over this last lap because Holiday is now 22nd and Diego Hames is now 23rd.
Oh, that is true.
So there was a pass. So yeah, I think the Last Lap Motorsports car is going to be getting away fairly quickly.
Also have a situation where the Marvo Motorsport car, number 77, and we have the number 8, Mark Patel, who Is it me, or does that car... Oh no, it's still damaged. Okay, so they put the hood, they have a spare bonnet, I guess I should say, to put back on that car.
Yes.
So they slammed the wall and then somehow miraculously they're able to keep driving. Yet we have Coanda Simsport who are completely unlucky in regards to something completely opposite. Slight contact and they lose a ton of time. So now you see Isaac Price of Vinix Racing Red, currently ahead of Iberica Racing Team and the rest of the field. He should be pitting within the next 2 laps or so, I would assume.
Yeah, 29 lap stint currently. Lap time's just been a little bit slower than the guys behind him, but nonetheless has the lead by 6.5 seconds. And in
Here he comes.
Brilliant time. And the second place car of the Iberica Racing Team will stay out.
Yeah, they should most certainly stay out. Yeah, exactly. Just passing them now. Enzo Benito actually has been catching Iberica Racing Team. I believe it was 8 seconds or so. Whoa, and
smoke on screen knows that was from William Levesque, who's now sliding off the road, number 85. He had the mother of all drifts going into turn 1. He was unlapping himself past the now lead car, and yeah, just completely lost it. Got back on and then lost it again. It was really quite spectacular. I mean, yeah, I do not doubt he enjoyed it very much. And yeah, position 43 at the moment after their
they had that
problems.
Crash at the, I believe it was in the second stint, about 40 or so laps ago. See the gap though, the gap is going down really quickly. Team Redline really catching Iberica Racing Team here. I don't know if Iberica's maybe saving fuel. Man, I doubt they would do this now. Possibly just traffic holding them up a little bit.
Yeah.
See Virgil racing in between the two now. Virgil Racing actually had a spin at the beginning of the race. I think we actually said that on stream. They went back to about the 55th position. Yeah, they're up to 13th now. So great job on them to move their way through the field.
Yeah, not a bad recovery. So yeah, the gap between first and second is just 3 seconds. It looks like it's gone up a little bit actually.
Yeah, I think Pablo now has got around Virgil Racing and has some room to actually extend his legs a little bit. Enzo gained about a second that lap, so I'm guessing that's all from the first half of the lap.
In the next couple of laps we'll be up to half distance, so that will mark a significant point of the race.
Yes.
1,000 kilometers, 173 laps.
And a little after all these next pit stops finish, would be a good time for us to do our necessary break in the strength for file size. So we'll do that after this next set of pit stops cycles through. Would like to again thank simrace.tv for being our streaming platform for this. Let's Anger, quite helpful in helping with any questions, concerns we have. Phil Diaz operating the cameras and counting along with Michael, the race director. Mel Homer and Michael Passingham with you. We were hopeful to have Lewis McGlade with us today, but he was having some internet issues. And Oscar Hardwick has abandoned us to do some race in R Factor, some 8-hour race in Interlagos.
I believe it's like a WEC type thing in R Factor.
Yep. I forget the series name, but so he's doing that. That started at the same time as our little shindig here. And also would like to thank our sponsors for MOE this year. That would be Derek Spear Designs for providing some prizes for the end of the season. 3 track bosses to the winners, and also 3 more to 3 varying people. Visit them at DerekSpearDesigns.com. Title sponsor of Round 12 Hours of Road America, presented by Derek Spear Designs. Also like to thank IGP Manager Jack Bassford, IGPManager.com. Also, special offer from IGP for people watching this race. IGPManager.com/special. Answer a trivia question. What year did My3ID Gaming win MOE GT1 and MOE GT2? I'll give you a hint. It was only in the years the MOE was active. So it was not in, I don't know, 1982. So it's only in the years that MOE was active. That is the only hint. My3ID Gaming, if you're wondering what they have to do with IGP or MOE, Jack Bassford, the developer of IGP, was the manager of 3ID. He was in that year's lineup with someone you also might recognize, Hugo Lewis, who won some iRacing World GP series. So
GWC.
Yeah, that. It's inconsequential. Nothing to do with that. So IGPManager.com/special. Valid on new and existing accounts. Free month of the 2D pack. Which, if you want to actually win anything in IGP, it's almost necessary.
It is most certainly helpful.
So Enzo Benito, Team Redline still chasing down Iberica. Pablo Lopez, currently the leader as pit stops roll through. 26 laps since the last Iberica stop, 27 since the last Team Redline stop.
I wouldn't be surprised to see, I don't think this lap, most likely next lap, Team Redline coming into the pits.
I'm not sure the correctness of the timing and scoring right now. Because has Core Motorsports last having pit on that, or 55 laps ago?
Oh yeah, then that's definitely incorrect.
It also has 54 laps for Phoenix Motorsports number 1.
And I bet you probably the Team Camara number 2 car. The number 54 car. Currently in the 9th position.
No, it says 28 on the website.
Oh, okay.
Someone else had a 50 lap stint earlier. I think it was one of the AB racing teams.
Must be something to do with, I don't know, when they pit. iRacing should be able to pick up and tell us when they've pit, and we should be able to calculate from there. Enzo Bonito for Team Redlines brought it down to 1 second. There's a car in between here, Direct Clutch Motorsports.
There's a lot of awkward lapping going on for Lopez. He had to get past about 2 or 3 cars at the hairpin, which was a little bit rough, but he managed. But yes, lost a fair amount of time, about a second on that lap.
Yeah, it really sucks for him because he goes and he has to overtake all these cars, and it seems like it's harder for him than it is for Team Redline to overtake the cars. because they're already submissive after that. They're like, okay, just pass me now. Just want to note that the 2 cars in the background of this, number 2 and the number 83, that is a battle for position. P11 to be exact. Ridgeway Racing was actually very strong in the first round, and they had a little mistake about, I want to say about a quarter of the way through maybe. Led quite a few laps. They were on a different pit strategy. I hate to break away from this, but Team Redline right on the back of the America Racing Team.
Yeah, battle for the lead as we head towards the final round of, or the next round of pit stops. Well, Benito just had to back out of it. They're going into Spoon and
yeah, I don't think he was given a choice there.
No, looking very squirrely on those tyres as well. I'm not surprised to see one or both of them in the pits pretty soon. Maybe
going to go on board with him. I believe he's going to possibly enter the pits this lap.
Yeah, and he's lost so much time on this lap. It really is worth just pitting and getting the fresh tyres and getting some clean air, because right now he's losing lots of time behind Lopez. I mean, I might both come into the pits. That'll be interesting.
And here it goes.
Yeah. So yeah, not losing any more time. Maybe a lap earlier than he would have wanted, but in the end, probably a sensible decision, because that was a little bit close, a little bit scary for him.
Yep, we see R4 Motorsport exiting the pits right in front of him. Going back to the number 2 and 83 battle. Number 2 car, now they have stuff all over their windshield.
Hey, there's no windscreen wipers.
Oh no. They do have tear-offs now.
Ooh.
Yeah. So that's most likely going to be used for them if it hasn't already.
Yeah. On board with Virgil at the moment, as you say. And ahead of the direct clutch motorsports car. Looking pretty close. Those two, the car ahead, 25 lap stint. The car you're on board with, 26 lap stint. So they are still a few laps away from their pit stops and on pretty much equal tyre condition, you would imagine.
Just want to note that when Team Redline came into the pits, they did do a driver change. Christian Simchuk back into the car.
Yeah, Christian Simchuk had a reasonable stint when he was in the car. Lost a couple of positions, but it was mostly a clean stint as we watch Asubanemi attempting to pass the 83 car at Spoon, but not quite having the room for it.
That's a pretty good pronunciation there.
Yeah, well, you notice the massive delay between me saying his first name and second name. And
all the Finns right now are saying "Go Kimi."
Yeah, go Kimi indeed. And up the inside, he brakes just about on time and gets through at 130R. Not bad at all. That is a 11th position right there. And coming through as well is the Inex Racing Yellow Willem Levesque, who is a couple of laps down, 3 laps down in fact, after earlier troubles. And after also having a massive spin earlier. Himself. Yes. And Brad Wootton of Direct Clutch comes into the pits after being passed, so he's obviously bottled out and get some fresh tyres in. Also Pablo Lopez, the race leader, in the pits, car number 10. It's a 29 lap stint for them.
I believe they don't want Team Redline to overtake them. So they're going to try to pit now and see if they can block that from happening.
Yes, I'm not sure what the lap for Team Redline has been like, because it's been an out lap, so has it been an out lap?
He's the next Racing Blue right behind them. He has some space in front. Apologies again for the white car you see on screen. That is a Team Redline car. iRacing's just not rendering all the cars on track because there's still 55 cars running.
Simchek pushing very hard indeed, going into the Casio triangle.
Pablo Lopez still has not exited his pit stall.
Yeah, it's got time.
He just started moving.
Red line just coming over the start-finish line now, so it's pretty secure.
Yep.
Now it's just a case of how the relative pace between Lopez and Suzuka compares.
Yeah, I believe Christian wasn't as quick. We saw this in the second stint. Lost some time to the cars that Enzo Benito had pretty much gapped at the beginning. So hopefully he sticks with them, and then Enzo would be able to get into the car and pull away. Or we could see Verica Racing Team make a little gap and have a little fortune of their own. I want to note that the current leaders of the race during these pit stops, Core Motorsports, directly behind, well, not directly, sorry. Behind them is Radicals on line 1, Mac Backham at the wheel there. Core Motorsports continuing to just keep going there. They might be extending every single one of their stints. They could have a pretty short stint here at the end.
Yes, what our tracker is telling us the incorrect information about their last stint. What's their actual stint length at the moment?
I'm not actually sure. It's displaying the wrong thing for me as well. As far as in the last day pit, Mac Backham has done a pit stop now. He's currently in the pit, so NX Racing Red will take over the second position here, which they have just done. As you can see, they're about 30 seconds behind Core Motorsports. Looks like their last pit stop was on the end of lap 62. So they could still go a lap or two easily. I think they've been trying to do 31 lap stints, and that could be big at the end here.
Yeah, it looks like they've got maybe 3 or 4 cars here who could be in contention of a win with slightly different strategies, and it's only going to shake itself out in the final stint, which is probably
we won't know what's going on
away.
until the end. Yeah, if they keep doing 31 lap stints, I mean, they could pit lap 155 as their final pit stop, and that's only 18 laps they'll have to go on fuel and tires. We saw that NX Racing Red, for example, they pit on lap 24, I believe, is their first pit stop. So they can even cut a little bit at the end as well. So who knows what's going on here for every team. Core Motorsports, pretty smart. Extending this out, we'll probably see them pit around lap 93. Just completed lap 91. Currently on lap 92. As we can see, NX Racing Red's already done their pit stop, and they're running much quicker times than Core Motorsport. Also, Core Motorsport a little stuck in traffic here. So we have another battle for position. Right behind the leader. Number 27, Velocity Endurance Team. Nyan Cat Car, we haven't spoken about him much here. Currently in front of Trinity Motorsports in the number 60. Oh, and sorry to break off this. Oh, we'll watch this battle just for a few more minutes here, or a few more seconds. There's another battle on track, about 4-car battle for positions 19 through 22. Currently have Yanni Hagner in the Glacier Racing car. Going around Radicals Online 2. Wow. Okay. Passingham going into Degner's. See here, the 35 and 19 are battling. We have the Radicals on line 1 car currently overtaking. Possibly. Oh, this is going to be interesting here.
Yeah, got Radicals on the line, just running a little wide in this case, taking a very defensive line down the front straightaway.
They don't want to be passed. I don't know if they want to go into the corner this low, though. Yep, they're going to give him position. Okay. Probably a smart move there at that angle. They were trying to enter the corner. Just want to note that the 33 Core Motorsports car, expecting them in this time. This is going to be the end of lap 93 here. Oh, sorry, this is the end of lap 92. Might be one more lap. Nope.
Box.
Yep. Core Motorsports in. Now see, every time they're doing this, yes, they are kind of losing time to the cars around them simply because they're going further and they have to use all their fuel and their tires and whatnot. However, at the end, they should pay off. It should pay off dividends. It takes quite a while to refuel the car and whatnot, so this could be big for them.
And we'll hope that
to do a driver change.
Yep. And it gives it.
Yep, and it stick counter did reset the driver change. We also have another battle on track to break away. It's actually teams that we've spoke about before. Pure Racing Team 2, Team Chimera 2, and New World Sim Sport 2.
Wow. So a three-way battle for, what is that, about 10th?
The 9th
19th,
position.
19th?
Yeah. They're going to move forward 1, I believe. No, you're right. 10th, 11th, 12th. Yeah. Battle for 10th.
So New World Sim Sport, Farouk Manzar, excuse me, the trailing MP4.
Yeah, all McLaren's battling here.
Next up in the middle of it is the Team Chimera MOE number 54 car, P11. We have this battle working their way through some lapped traffic. Simon Trentel still trying to chase down Noel Lundberg.
Yeah, and as they're going through traffic, Camaro car has actually caught Pure Racing Team 2 again.
Through the Degners. Rodriguez, the Name Endurance team, will stay a little close to this battle. At least as a spectator. He is laps down. He is a lap down in this battle. Here in a few minutes, when this battle kind of when this battle seems to be good and over. And actually, I think Pure Racing Team might be due for a pit stop anytime soon. It's been 30 laps since their last pit stop.
Oh yeah, they'll most likely be pitting this time then? Nope, next time I assume. Might want to make sure that it's not a little bug. Could be.
Yeah. We'll have to keep an eye on that.
Oh, side by side into turn 1.
Yep, Manzar
North
goes to
and
the inside of Trendle.
Couldn't keep it though.
So again, still watching this battle for 9th, 10th, and 11th. Pure Racing Team, Team Camera, and New World Sim Sport. We believe Pure Racing Team might be due for a pit stop soon, unless our tracking system has delivered us a wonderful bug again. It says that Core Motorsports is pitted negative 93 laps.
Oh, interesting.
So it means they're 93 laps from the next pit stop, surely.
Yeah, that's definitely an issue. Yeah, it should basically grab from when the pit stop happens. iRacing says there's been a pit stop, and when there is, it simply just grabs that lap.
Should have a drive-through for car number 27. Beast has been served. That was for avoidable contact with car 96.
Oh, we just saw NX Racing Red in the background. Isaac Price is the leader currently. Go a little off track there.
Into the pits goes Pure Racing Team number 2.
Okay, so no bug.
And Manzar has the slipstream down the start-finish straight. Goes to the inside of Trendle into turn number 1. Who will yield? Neither of them do. Trendle
contact!
Trendle is spun! Trendle is spun!
Oh dear.
Kept it out of the wall and everything now.
I think Trendle might have wanted to give it a bit more discretion there. It looked like Manzar was up the inside, and there was not going to be room for them both to occupy the same space. And, well, it came off worse, as one tends to do when you're on the outside.
That was definitely, both of them pretty much pushed the issue there. Also want to note that behind Farouk Manzar now there's actually the GT Ross SST silver car, number 113. That is actually a battle for position, and it's going to hurt Isaac Price, who's directly behind them for NX Racing Red, the current leader, who's going to want to pass them both.
Just looking back at that, yeah, I think it was probably about half and half, having seen it, because Manzar kind of had a little correction and went more into the middle of the road as Trendle came into the middle of the road, and yes, they converged.
This isn't good for Farouk Manzar. He's just actually disappeared from the screen. That is not good. Looks like the next Racing Red car was let by there. I bet you the 113 is like, well, he's currently not here, so you guys can go ahead and hopefully there's nothing crazy happening.
Yeah, just oh, they'll come back as I let the lapping car through. That'll save me from. I would be cynical to suggest that they're trying to sacrifice the faster car. So, as we are in a quiet spot, after just past halfway, as we need to do from time to time for file size constraints, we're going to do a quick stop and restart of the stream. Your stream should relatch up about 20 seconds after we restart it. So, from the full Suzuka circuit, 1,000 kilometers of Suzuka in progress right now, lap 98 of 173 in progress. Stay with us, we'll be back right after this pause in the action.